Appreciate everybody on the line. I see you, Nori. Yeah!
Hey!
Woo! We did it! Yes! Yes!
Oh shit! All right, now what? Are we done yet?
Nah, stay put, Val.
All right,
Stay
okay.
put.
All right, all right, all right.
Hold
Okay.
on.
All right. Oh shit!
Val, I'm gonna lose my hair. I'm gonna lose my
I
hair.
I lost mine already.
You got more than me, brother.
I don't think so. I just ordered a new hat. Go ahead. Hey, look who it is. Yo.
What? Forget about it.
No. Let's talk about it. When you gonna pay me the money you owe me?
That shit's long gone.
I need to catch my breath for a second.
I'm sorry. I put you through the ringer. Let him do some fucking work.
Oh man,
Mikey,
What up, Papa?
how you doing?
How you doing?
Good. Miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. It's been a minute.
Hey, every time I see a Chawa record, I think of you.
The Chawa, yeah, man.
oh man.
Or the woman.
Oh yeah, Woman on Shock. Finally, it's selling. You started something. By the way, I have to tell you something. You ready? Guess what state is my best state? Not craziness or anything. I'm talking about actual fucking states. Ready? Of the whole country?
Go ahead.
California.
Oh yeah.
By a million.
I bet.
Yeah, that low rider
unbelievable.
stuff,
You got it. Every day, something.
You see what I started?
Is that you did that? Well, guess what? It's red hot.
Yeah, man.
No state comes close
I
to California.
can't take all the credit, but
take it. Who's around? Take it.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
So,
Yeah.
if y'all are ready, I'll go ahead and kick things off. I see we
Go
got
ahead.
16 on the line. All right. I want to welcome everybody to Mike Noriega Presents The Vault, Tales from the Crates of Soul Collectors. The purpose of our show is to celebrate rare soul as told through collectors on the scene that we recognize as leaders. Tonight, I am joined by my co-host, Mike Noriega. Folks, we've got about 60 minutes. We've got about 9-10 questions. We got show and tell. I'm so excited for this. We are truly in the presence of greatness, and I'm certain when I say that. The human being that you see in the lower left-hand corner is an incredibly special human being. This is someone who had this affinity for rare, obscure, lost gems that were forgotten about. And over nearly 6 decades, he has been collecting and helping people find records, bringing satisfaction on a global level. R&B Records is the name of the store. But first, he started out in his car, which had a built-in record player that he would sell records to his friends. Later on, he became a distributor, buyer, and then manager, and opened up Order by Mail, which was R&B Records' first opening. He later ended up opening this monumental building, which houses what I've read up to 4 million records. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Upper Darby, PA shining star, Val Shidley. Val, welcome.
Woo! Make sure you're looking at the guy on the
bottom
left,
right,
not the guy on the right. What?
I think it's actually bottom right-hand corner.
It's my
where
left.
you at? No, I don't want you. Get him off of there.
Yeah. Well, for you, it's on your left. For me, it's on my right.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, let's not get them confused. All right? Let's not get the Upper Darby guy confused with the LA guy.
Yeah. LA guy this side, Philly guy this side. It's South Philly, right?
No. Actually, I'm in Upper Darby. That's like West Philly.
When you grew
1
up.
mile from West Philly.
But you
But
grew
do
up
me a favor. Whatever you do, don't come here.
That's what they say about LA.
Been there.
I got enough problems.
I got the strobe. We're gonna come and see you with the strobes.
I was just telling him he loved the story.
Yeah,
You don't know it. You know that part, but you don't know what happened. Shall I tell that story or not yet?
Let's start with the
go
first
ahead.
question, and we'll just kind of navigate it.
All
so,
right.
Val, I'm going to do things a little out of order, but
Good.
I want to start by dropping a couple names.
All right.
When I say Eddie Estrada, tell me what comes to mind
I-
and how this connects the two of you.
Definitely Vaseline.
Lots of it.
A lot of it. Vaseline.
For me.
Large economy size.
For me.
You too. You know Eddie too.
Of course.
I'm having trouble sitting, and I haven't seen him in 10 years. No, I love Eddie.
Yeah.
He's listening, right? The only reason I'm saying I love him is because he's listening.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's
Maybe.
a listener. No, Eddie is Eddie. You want to hear? I brought in some records. I brought in 2 records because I know, Don said Eddie's part. Eddie wants to tell us about Eddie, and so I brought in 2 records that I got from Eddie. And it wasn't always easy with Eddie because Eddie.
Oh man.
He moved his phone, man. He'll come back once he comes back. He'll come back.
Val, can you hear us?
Is he on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, don't move the phone around because if you move the phone around, sometimes you lose signal.
Do this.
Val, try not to move.
The phone. I think it's the phone that he's moving, no?
You're there.
There it is. Yeah, that's it.
In the Romans, before they were Little Caesar, I think, or after.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
He goes, all right. Next day I get a call. Listen, I said, what? And he goes, I talked to Jerry Diaz. He told me the record's worth a lot more than 500. I said, well, stop talking. Stop talking to these friggin' people. We made a deal. Well, I can't really do that. I can't. It's got to be different. I said, well, all right. What do you want? And he goes, give me 1,000. I says, all right. You get 1,000. Send the friggin' thing to me. Next thing you know, it's him again. Hey, Val, I think I can do better. I said, we just finished. So now it's 1,500, 2,000. And listen, so I wrote on the sleeve what I paid for this record. Oh, well, excuse me for moving. All right, you ready? Here's what it says. Eddie Estrada. Do I put the date down? No, I didn't date it. Okay, here's what that record that was supposed to be 500. Here's Eddie. Ready? It says from Eddie Estrada for Baby Please by the Moon Goes on Red, on Chance, Red Wax, which was, I remember it had a little strange, not a warp, but a flat part, a little beveled edge thing, but it played fine. And I remember putting 2,000 on that record. And then he wanted, can I come over? And this could be the night by the Voors. Can I come over tonight? And this could be, can I come over tonight? Yeah. And this could be the night. Okay. He wants those 2 records. And you ready? Hello. $1,500 in cash. That's him. That's my man. So and I did it like an asshole. But I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen it since. So Eddie, you're all right in my book, I guess. All right. That's an Eddie. That was one. There's a few. Oh, here's one. So Eddie was in Allentown. And he goes, Val, I got one for you. I said, oh, shit, I hope not. But he did. Here it comes. Eddie, part 2.
There it is. Yep, the Mambo.
See that record?
Cindy, red plastic.
Exactly. That's the only known copy on red.
That's it.
Okay. That was, hold on. I put 5 on the sleeve, I think. So I think it was more than that, but I don't know. 5,000, by the way, not 500. 5,000.
Well, you know what he gave me for the Arcados because he got it from me.
Oh, I didn't know that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Let me guess. Hold on. You ready? Here he comes. Mike, this record really ain't nothing. Listen, but I got a live one on the line for it. I'll give you 50. No, I'm going to give you $100. I was going to give you 50. I'll do 100 for you because I like you.
I got. Can I come over tonight?
Oh shit! You got the 2 records.
And I got. Can I come over tonight? And I got. This could be the night.
That's it.
And I got
$100.
The Loudness of My Heart, the Pet record.
Pet. Yeah.
And $80 cash.
Whoopee.
Woo!
Did he throw in lunch? Did you go to McDonald's?
Nope.
All right,
nope.
just checking.
No lunch.
That's Eddie.
Yep.
That's Eddie.
Yep.
So anyway, we love him. Hey, listen, I'm at Allentown. I was talking to somebody. He was there. And I remember taking my keys out of my pocket for some reason and putting them down.
Uh-oh. You talking about the full battery thing too, right? All right.
You should have seen the step-by-step instructions with pictures.
All right. Hey, we got one good story yet.
Val, can you hear us? We need Max to drive over to Upper Darby to rectify this situation.
Good luck. Yeah.
This is painful.
Yeah, man. I wonder if he knows he's spinning.
Val, can you hear us?
He's just rolling. I don't think he knows that he's not being heard. And maybe he should move. Oh, okay. So it's like lapse time. I don't know much you can do about it.
Hey, Val, can you hear me?
He might have to move, like maybe to another spot. Maybe he's sitting in a bad spot in his shop. Yeah. He might have to move to another spot.
He dropped. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he'll come back.
See it again. Let's go live. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Val,
Yeah, maybe. Did
Val.
you move? Did you move?
I don't know where the fuck I went. Sorry.
Listen.
What?
Now you're on the right side, but all things aside and jokes aside,
Yes.
if that happens again, we're just going to drop and invite you back.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you
All
mean?
right.
Another day?
No. This is it.
All right, good.
One night
Good, 'cause
only.
I can't take this. Go ahead. I'm up.
All right, go to your second question.
So one story that really I kind of just blew my mind was hearing about this gentleman named Dave Antrell. Can you tell everybody about Dave Antrell, who he was, and also the record collecting, and just give us the story?
Dave Antrell was a doctor. He went to Stanford or some friggin' place. And he called me around 1970, found me. And he wanted Group Harmony Records. He was in his Corvette or some hot car. He's driving down the street and he hears Could This Be Magic by the Dubs on Gone. He goes, oh my God, never heard anything like this before in my life. Finds out what it is, and now he's into that. That was the record that turned him on to this. But
Wow.
This guy was so amazing, very smart, very good at chasing stuff. He knew how to, publishing, the writers, way before there was computers, way before all this shit with the looking up the guy's name, the oddball name that wrote a song. He could find anything. He was doing the PMI and ASCAP and finding records and all. So he never wanted to spend that much money because he thought he could get this shit for nothing. Okay? And by the way, he did get some for nothing because he used to go over everybody's house and they'd get a phone call or they'd take a dump and there, boom, right in his pants.
Yep. Uh-oh. Frozen.
Because
Coming back. Maybe. Hey Val. Maybe have him move by the door. Maybe by the door or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe close to his Wi-Fi, wherever his Wi-Fi is.
Okay.
You want me to go in the back?
Yeah, maybe
somewhere?
move close to your Wi-Fi. Where's your
I
Wi-Fi?
don't know where it is. Chuck?
Yeah,
where's your Wi-Fi?
Hold on. Chuck! Where the fuck is Chuck?
Yeah, find out where your Wi-Fi is at.
Okay, I'm going to have...
Where the fuck is Chuck?
What the hell am I doing? Chuck! Hold on. This is killing me. Hold on. You can't even hear me. Hold on. Chuck! Chuck! Oh, fuck. I don't know where he is. He's upstairs. Anyway, I don't know.
That's all right.
He was working before. Hold on.
Yeah, right there. Right there is fine. It looks like you
Okay,
got
hold
good
on.
signal right there.
Hold on. I'm gonna sit somewhere else, or I'm gonna lay on the floor or something. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
You can see me a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't see me. Maybe that's the problem. All right. Anyway,
There you go.
so where am I? Oh, Dave. So
Yeah.
Dave actually went in the studio, and he had ear. He could do things. He could make records and make them sound like they're from 1955, 54. I mean, he knew how to do shit. Can you hear me? You
Yeah.
guys there? All right, just checking.
Yeah.
So this one time, Jerry Holacek calls me up and he says, Val, I just found this record. It's unbelievable. I got two of them, two different records. One I got four of, and one I got one or two, whatever. I'm going to sell them to Dave, but I got doubles. And I said, what is it? And he tells me these 5 arcades on Sacto Records out of Sacramento. I said, I never heard of them. He goes, listen to them. They're great. He puts it on. He says, holy shit, that is great. So I said, and he wanted like $500 for it. Well,
Wow.
back then, the most records were worth was 500. The
Right.
rarest records were 5. Basically, when I started doing this, they weren't even $100 each.
No,
I
they're 20.
remember in like 1970, 100 was it. I had sold red plastic larks. I sold all the cream. Everything was 100. The thing on shit. I can't even think anymore. What the hell is it? Oh God,
Yes.
everything was 100. If it was really great, it was $100.
Right.
So,
Which is a fortune.
yeah, well, it was most people.
Yeah.
But I had people only wanted $100 records. They used to come in, just pick me out 5 great $100 records. I wish I could get them back today.
Yeah.
Because those $100 records are 5,000 today. It's all craziness.
Yeah.
So maybe I should tell you that story, how that all happened. I was involved in that. How records went from 500 to 5,000 overnight.
Well, I think a lot of it's to do with that whole, Yaffe.
Yeah, he was there. I was part of it.
I was telling him Wax about it. I said, look, think about how price guys were made. Why did Kreider get involved? Why did all these guys start making books? It's a lot to do with Dantrell and Yaffe and you paying these fucking crazy prices.
I know,
and
you're right.
We're
You're
getting around.
absolutely right.
Yeah, man, that's what
That's
happened.
it. Listen, you want them or you don't want them. Listen, I know there's people like Dominic DeLea in New York who said, I'm not paying these stupid prices. I'll wait till the whole hobby dies. Well,
Right.
he's about to die, and so am I, and this prices still ain't coming down. Not on them big records.
Right.
You know where it's the small shit don't mean nothing. You can't give that stuff away. However, the big records hold their own. There's enough people out there, but you know what? The only place you're going to find these is when somebody dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where the shit is. It's all in collections, not in warehouses anymore. That shit's been found long ago. So anyway, that's what's going on there. So Dave was making these records, and he said I was the only one that caught on what he was doing, but I didn't know he was. I thought he made the record. I didn't think they were real.
What made you think he made them?
I thought he made them because what do you call it? This is what. First of all, he mailed them to me, not even insured. He sent a media mail or some shit, 50 cents, or something stupid. That was number one. Number two, I call up Holacek and I say, what do you call it? Well, I know. I call Dave and I said, Dave, there's something wrong with these records. And he goes, like what? I said, I don't think they're real. I think they were just made. I'm telling you. And he goes, you're crazy. He said, look at the guy's name and the dead wax. Or
The Allied scriber.
And he says, that guy died in 1958. It got to be real. Well, wait a minute. They can't be. Well, why are you telling me this? You paid 500 supposedly. Why aren't you listening to me when I'm telling you the fucking records ain't real? And he's saying, no, I think they are. Well, of course he's saying it because he's behind the whole damn thing.
Yeah, he's in the mix.
Exactly. So anyway, finally it comes out. But I never knew that he was singing on the records, that he created the records. I thought he had old tapes. I thought he found old tapes and put them out.
No,
he never would have.
He sang every part. He played every instrument.
I know.
He produced the whole fucking thing.
Yep, you're right. Amazing.
And you know what? He made a record for you. That one was Buy a Van.
Yeah, you got it. Stalwart. Yeah, we were. Listen. I love the guy. I love the guy. And then two of us were helping him out when he was getting DUIs. He was all screwed up. He was doing drugs. He was an alcoholic. He's got all of it going on at once. I was out there once, and we went to a drugstore. He wanted not drugs, so we went to. He wanted booze.
Yeah.
And I remember this. He bought some bottle of something, and he drank the whole thing. By the time he got to the counter, he just put an empty bottle down and said, "I'll buy it." I mean, that's the kind of shit was going on.
Yeah, he had a real bad one. He go on the record show. He'd be blown drunk, sitting on the floor, and he'd be telling us that he'd be selling you his mint copies and taking your VG copies.
That's exactly what we did after a while, because he didn't want to spend the money. So he said, "Give me anything. I don't care. I'll give you my mint ones, and you give me credit toward other shit." And also, that's what we were doing at the end. I mean, I could go on. I could go on for 5 hours about Dave.
Yeah, me too.
And what happened with his records. And I was the only one that was close to him and his girlfriend, who was that's who took him down.
He was a doctor. He was prescribing himself heroin.
Exactly. All that shit. All that shit.
Crazy.
I mean, he told me a story once. Everybody's dead now. I guess I can tell it. But when Bob Haidt died from Camp Heat, he called me up and he says, "Val, I'm dead. I'm done." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I just gave him a prescription. I just gave him the shit that killed him." I said, he gave me stuff. He got into specialty records. He got all this stuff out of the files. We're trading records. I got Aladdin records from, he's getting in there to Liberty. He knows how to get into Bob Haidt. He was somebody. So he said, "I'm fucking done." But it came out that he had a heart attack in the news. But he said, "Put the radio on. It's all over the place. He died. He's dead."
Yeah.
And I said, he goes, "I just fucking did it."
Yeah.
Well,
I
came back and got him in the ass.
From what Kevin Antrobus told me, I could put a movie out.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Well, make sure you put him in it too.
He's dead. He's dead too.
I know. Starring Kevin, because I fell out with him big time.
Yeah.
I spent more hours on the phone with him
than anybody.
Trying to get Dave's records for him.
Yeah, grinding him.
And he never even appreciated it. And then he came after Stallworth and I, because we helped him. We gave money to Dave because he had addictions. He couldn't drive. He had all kinds of problems going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dave, it's very sad, but Dave, whatever he got into, he went 110% into it. I mean, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whether it's music.
Yeah.
I mean, the man was, and even I remember at the funeral, I flew out there for the funeral, and I remember his brother getting up there and saying, Dave collected, when he was a little child, he was 10 years old, he collected light bulbs. And not any light bulb, he's got to have the little ones, the crazy ones. He was into collecting license plates. He collected everything. See if you could get me a 53 Pennsylvania license. I need that one. I said, what happened to records? I need them too. So anyway.
So
go ahead. That was an hour for shot in the ass. What's the next question?
So, over the past 2 years, I've just been doing a lot of exploring of the scene. And oftentimes what happens is I'll discover somebody. And I usually text Mike in the morning. I'm like, Mike, do you know so-and-so? And when I happened to ask him if he knew Val Shively, he sent me a picture of the two of you from I think, the 90s. So my question for you is, tell me about the first time that you met Mike Noriega, and what do you remember about that very first episode?
There he goes. There's the answer right there. Laugh a little harder. So here's what happened. He comes in with, I guess you had just got hired by them.
Yeah, I was working there for about maybe 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, really? That long?
Yeah.
So look, David Hall and Gordon Rubel were these guys. They're coin dealers. They bought that Stormy Weather 78.
Whoa. It sounded like you said porn dealers, not porn.
No. Well, maybe that too. I'm not sure. Because one of the first things he did was, when they were here the first time and met me, I was playing Blowfly albums for him. You know who that is? Clarence Reed. And they loved him. So I called up Henry Stone. I'll never forget this. I was friendly with Henry. I said, Henry, I said, I need 50. He wanted to give them to all his friends, David Hall. So I said, I need 50 copies of every one of those Blowfly albums you made. He goes, Val, I got 4 fucking records in the top 10, you dumb fuck. I ain't got time for no fucking Blowfly records. I got KC, I got this, I got that. Get the fuck out of here. And he hung up on me. Anyway, so back to the boys. They come in. And
the coin guys.
The coin guys come in, and they got Mikey with them. Here's our guy. So here's what they say. This is in the 90s, and I had bought this huge load of records from TAC out of New Orleans, Louisiana, and they
Yeah.
were all in color-coded boxes, and most of them are either upstairs or in the basement. And there's a lot of black shit, and it's like all good. It's interesting
Yeah, I
stuff.
remember like a lot of Suns and specialties and
Oh,
all
that
kinds
was
of stuff.
me. No, that was from a pressing plant that I used to get in.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't allowed to buy Sun and Specialty. I could have anything else, Imperial, all you want for a dime. No Specialty and no. Well, the guy was in there reading the paper, so I get down on my belly and I'm doing like this thing like in combat, and I go over to the Specialty shit and I'm opening them up and I got like the Prisonaires, and I filled the boxes up with Fats Domino reissues and shit like that. So in other words, if they pop open the Sun boxes, it's fucking Fats. But if you open the Imperial boxes, which is what I bought, you see Sun and Specialty. So anyway, that's another story. But okay, so where am I? Who the hell are we talking about? I forget. Who was it?
When I
Oh, I
came
know these Mikey. So here they come in, and they say, and I had all these records, and they were I think they were thinking about starting that.
Well, what he wanted to do is he wanted to buy like 50 or 100 copies of everything on the Rare Record Report, which was just a bunch of hits. They wanted
That's what it was.
and all this
So
bullshit.
I said, come on. So I said, come on upstairs. So we go upstairs, second floor, and it's all these massive aisles all the way back and every box has a jukebox title strip on it. And so they go over and they see, I'll never forget this. They pull out 2 boxes. There's 25, 30 in a box of You Never Can Tell by Chuck Berry. And I think that movie was out, Pulp Fiction. Okay. Yeah. So everybody was buying that record on they didn't care whether it's real or not. They just want the song. So he sees this. He goes, whoa, 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 whoa. What would you want for this record? If I took all 50 of them, what do you want for them? So I said, here's a piece of paper. You write down what you're willing to give me, and I'll tell you what I want for it, and we'll see how far apart we are.
Yeah.
So I give him a pencil, and I give him a piece of paper, and then I write down what I want. Okay. So he writes down 15. I write down 5. I want $5 a piece. You can have all 50. Give me $5 a piece. Okay. He writes down 15. I didn't say 5. I wrote 5.
Yeah.
He hands me the paper and he goes, here, I'll give you 15. I take my pen when he wasn't looking real quick and I put a 1 in front of the 5 and I said, guess what? We're on the same page. We're on the same page. We can do business. So he goes, Mike, go out and get the strobe lights. Right? These are coin dealers. I said, what the fuck do you want strobe lights for? He says, we got to look at the records. I said, hey, you don't have eyes? Here, look. These are all the same stupid records. $15 a piece.
Yeah.
Here, there's 50 of them.
Now
so
they were coin guys. They were coin
well,
guys.
I didn't know. So here's what happened.
Looking at these fucking records like they were coins.
They got them. They got magnifying glasses. They got the fucking thing on their eye for looking at the diamond rings. They got, in other words, they're doing it. And so I go, listen, I don't give a shit. You can do what you want. Let me get downstairs and get some work done. So I left them up there. So I hear all this banging and like racks falling over and shit. And I tell Chuck, I said, listen, I think it finally happened. We got it. We got these 2 fucking idiots. I'm not counting you, Mike. We got these 2 fucking idiots up there. They're going to buy us the fuck out. This is it. We're finished. It's beautiful. It's fucking over. So what do you call it? I go upstairs. I wait an hour or 2. Oh, no, he says, get me boxes. Before I left, he says, bring up as many boxes as you can, right? So I said, Chuck, find boxes. Dump shit, anything. Throw the shit all over the floor. Get the fucking empty boxes up to them. So we're send boxes up. Set all this noise up there. And I finally go up after I give them 2 hours. Let me see how they're doing. I walk up and I see piles and piles and piles and piles of fucking records all the way on the walls, piled up all over the place. I said, yo, what the hell am I putting the boxes up for? You're not even putting them in the boxes. Put them in the fucking boxes. Why are they? He goes, no. They're not the fucking records. I said, well, what the hell are they? He says, they're the rejects. I said, the rejects? Where the fuck are the good ones? He shows me a little pile. There's about 50 records. I said, what? Shut the fucking lights out. You guys are done. You've been up for 3 fucking hours and you got 50 records?
Yeah,
What
man.
the fuck? That was it.
So,
Mikey,
but
remember?
you know what? I think we
I
went
did
to
sell. Hold
we
on.
went to
I
your
did
house.
sell him Sun records. I
Yeah.
sold him Sun, and I sold him Sun records, and I figured, look, I'm selling these things for 50. By the way, I hope Dave don't see this. I, he says, okay. I said, you tell me what they want. You're the guy in charge. What do you want to give me for these fucking Sun records? He says, I'll give you $250 for this one. Oh shit, I got a lot of that one. So I said, well, I'll give you a few. I can't give you too many. So anyway, 250. I was selling it for 50. So I was loving that one. So yeah, he did. It was good. Look, I love the guy, but he
Yeah,
was.
and I think we went to
And
your
I
house.
thought that
We
was the
went to your
beginning of
house.
that. That was the
We went-
beginning of Good Rockin' Tonight.
Yeah,
right?
we went to your house after, and you had some rare doo-wops and some rare shit. And they spent some green with you. I remember I have
No.
pictures of
I
you with
know
all
they
the
spend money.
hundreds. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I bought somebody's collection that died, and I sold the best shit to Dave.
Yeah.
To David. I mean, he didn't play with me. I mean, it was amazing shit. Larks on Apollo, all kinds of
Yeah.
huge stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did a lot with me. So I love the guy.
Yeah.
I love him. So I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying
Yeah, it was
that's
just
the name of this game.
the initiation wasn't good, but the ending was a good result.
No, we've had fun. I love him. I haven't called him for maybe a year. I spoke to him after he had his problem with his brain or whatever.
Yeah,
but
he
he's
had that
okay now,
surgery.
isn't he? He's doing all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he's okay now. He had the cancer and he got through it.
I know that. And he paid.
Yeah.
He went back in for a better result. In other words, it would come back in 30%, or he could have another operation and it drops down to 5% or 3%.
Yeah, he
so
did
that's
it.
what he opted for. He told me. But I like him. So all right, we got him.
Where are you at now?
What are we into? What are we into the second hour yet?
We're up for question number 3.
All right, great. We'll never make it.
We're getting there. It's good. So there's a few very important moments, in your youth when you're connecting to this music. It was Elvis Presley's "Don't Be Cruel." There was a transistor radio, but then there was the Philly radio legend Jerry Blovat.
Blovat. No, he ain't that good. Blavat.
Okay.
That's better. Not Blovat. Whatever the hell you're doing. He ain't French. So anyway.
Jerry Blavat.
And that changed. Listen, I started buying records when I was 12 years old. I bought all the shit on the radio I heard, the stuff I loved. Okay, I loved it. And it started with, I had records before Elvis. I had Green Door, Jim Lowe, and I had novelty shit with St. George and the Dragonette, any kind. I had children's records with the Lone Ranger series on Decca. I want to be a cowboy. I don't want to sell records. I want to be a cowboy. So everybody my age want to be a cowboy. So look who's here, Chuck. You want to see Chuck?
Yeah.
Hold on, Chuck. Over here, baby. Can you see him?
Hello. Chuck, what's good?
Yeah, Chuck. It's his last day. Anyway, so
his last day in my house.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's my last day. Fuck it. So anyway, Elvis. Okay, so Elvis, that changed me. I really love that record. I played it for hours, and I'm getting situated. Hold on. That's why I'm moving around a little. I'm back. I'm staying still now. Listen, Elvis, I played it. I drove my parents nuts. I mean, all I did was play that record for I don't know how long. And so that became, that put me in a trance. And I never came out of it. So I had all these records, and I was really into everything. I listened to radio. I didn't study. I had a hollowed out book. I put the radio. I got a transistor radio for my birthday in 1957, January. Elvis's birthday is my birthday, and he just died 45 years ago. Did you know that?
Yeah.
As of yesterday, I think. Pretty sure I'm right. Anyway, so I had this. I would listen to the radio and all that, and then I was going to business school in 1962, and this kid in the class heard me talking about U.S. bonds or something, or something, and he goes, "You like records?" I said, "Yeah, I love records." And he says, "You know about Blavat?" I said, "No, what's that?" So I listened to him, and it blew my head. I thought I knew a lot about records. I didn't know nothing. I knew about the hits, but he was playing New York records that came out of Times Square Records. That was the epicenter for this whole game. All the shit that I'm into, all came out of one little store at 42nd and Broadway. And all these kids were in there, and I didn't know about that.
That's when it was down the subway?
Yeah, exactly. Well, going not in the subway, going down the subway.
Yeah,
The
down
first level down to go
Yeah.
down was a little triangle store that you couldn't put more than 15, 20 people in it.
What
It
was
was
his name?
just,
Slim? Slim?
yeah, Slim Rose, Irving Slim Rose, who was he knew nothing about records, nothing. Okay, he just liked money, and these
Yeah.
kids were spending money. He was buying records for a dime and putting them up for $1. And then here's what this is an interesting thing. I'm very, very good friends with Jerry Green. Jerry Green was the first person that ever worked in that store. And so Jerry would go. He was going to high school. He was going to be in art. He was going to be in art. He was a painter and shit. He didn't want to do. He wasn't going to do records. But this whole thing happened. It just changed his life, like it did mine. But he was there before me. So here's what he did one day. All these kids were. Everybody in New York listened to a show called Alan Fredericks. Okay, not Alan Freed. Alan Fredericks. He had a show called The Night Train Show on Saturday nights, and it was very, very popular with kids. And he'd play like 1,000 Miles Away to Heartbeats and New York records.
Yeah.
And so Jerry ended up taking records to him, playing them, and he said, Slim didn't want to spend money to advertise. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even get into it. Oh, anyway, Jerry ended up being the first employee of Times Square Records. Okay, $1 an hour. Well, that's what I got. Everywhere I worked, it was $1. That was your pay then.
Yeah.
So $1 an hour, and he took records because he collected records. And so then he found out where he could buy the records because Slim didn't drive. So they would take a cab over to 8th Avenue to a place called, what the hell was it called? I can't even remember now. Anyway, the records were a dime in there. They're all jukebox records. So he would bring them all. But Jerry knew what the hell the kids liked. Slim didn't. He was taking Patty Page, anything. So anyway, so Jerry says one day, everybody's coming in here because of Fredericks. They all want Sweetest One by the Crest on Joyce.
Oh,
he
yeah.
says, okay, they were buying it for a dime into loads of shit and selling it for $1. Everything was no more than $1. And then Jerry says, I'm going to put this record up for $3. And Slim goes, what are you, nuts? Who the hell is going to pay $3 for a record? He goes, well, everybody wants it and we never have it. So I'm going to put it up for $3. So every day he would call from school and say, anything happening? And Slim says, you'll never friggin' believe this. Somebody came in and bought that fucking record for $3. So then, he started doing that. And then he said, I'm going to put up one for 10. $10? You're out of your fucking mind. It was Golden Teardrops. But it's Flamingos on Chance, Red Wax. And, he just picked on that record. But that's the
Golden
beginning.
Teardrops.
That's the beginning of all this craziness with money. If you don't have money involved with it, I hate to say this because I'm not about money. I mean, we all are. You need money to eat and to, pay the rent and all that other shit. So, anyway, the minute that records become more than $1, I remember when I swore I would never pay more than $1 for a record. But this one record I kept hearing when I was at Times Square, it was $5. And every time I went there, I'd say, Slim, I want to hear that record. It was Darling, My Darling by the Academics on Anko, which is a white record, but I was white before I was black, meaning that's what I really like white shit the best.
Yeah.
And then the longer I got into this, I said, I still love that record because it's important to me. So, anyway, I would get him to go on a ladder, bring it down. He goes, you're going to buy it? I said, yeah, absolutely. All right, he climbed up. He almost fell off the ladder. He climbs down. He's an old man. He looked like Groucho Marx, by the way. So he comes down off the friggin' – hold on. Groucho without a fucking sense of humor. So he was a miserable bastard. So anyway, so he come down. I play the record. I go, maybe next time. The same shit they do to me, in here. So, nah, I'll wait. So anyway, Jerry Blavitt, then Jerry Green leaves Times Square, comes down to Philadelphia and starts his own business with a friend of his. And they know that Alan Fredericks was the reason that Times Square happened because they were feeding them records and they were, they would say all this shit's available at Times Square Records. So Jerry knew that. And so what he do? He met a guy down here who had a radio show and he decided to go to him and say, listen, I can make you, this is what he told me, and Rabbit won't like this, but listen. He said, I can make you the hottest thing in this city. Really? How? You play the shit I give you, and you'll become the hottest thing in the world. Oh, I'm going to give you records you never heard of. And he did. And you could only buy those records at Jerry Green's store, Record Museum. and they had started their own label, and they put all these records on the label. It was called Lost Night Records. And here comes the records you heard every night. Bila by the Versatones. You hear Desiree the Charts. You hear Please Say You Want Me to Schoolboys, which is not on there, but not on that. You know,
Yeah.
Blavitt played the same shit over and over, but they were great. I never heard these records before. Blew my mind. Paragons and Jesters. You know, all kinds of, they're all New York records. So that blew my mind. And I had an incident that happened. This is before I ever went to Times Square. I didn't even want to go there because I was listening to Blavitt, but after a while, he's playing the same shit over. I want to know about more. My goal was to have the best collection of this shit and to know all about it because I never knew where it came from. How did I not know these records? The answer is because they never got played down here. They only got played in New York. Those were all New York records that never got ended. That's basically it. So anyway, so New York is where I got it. And then I had a friend that collected with me, and we went up to New York one time, and we went to Times Square to see what it was like, and that blew my mind. All these kids in that little tiny store buying records for $5, $10, $8. What are they, nuts? So I took paper and started writing it all down, and that was my want list. What he had on the wall, I wanted to. Then I'd hear these records that were real old, that were like $10, and I'd say, this is the worst shit I ever heard in my life. Well, that's my favorite records today. But then it was, oh my God, it's like five guys dying. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're ready to barf. So, but that's the shit. That's the champagne. But you couldn't tell me that then. So anyway, I had an incident. I was with my friend. We were looking for sleeves. One Saturday, we needed sleeves, and I found a place downtown a pressing plant that would sell me sleeves. So we got on the subway, we went down, and we walked down. It was at 10th and someplace in South Philly. And what do you call it? So we're walking down the street together, and I see a sign, a 5 and 10, and it says records, 3 for $1, 50 cents each, 3 for $1. So I go, Bob, look across the street. What do you see? And he goes, nothing. I said, keep looking. Nothing. I said, look at the 5 and 10. He looks at the window and he goes, holy shit. And he takes off and he runs in before me. Okay. And now there's 3 rows of records. And I walked in. I didn't run. But I got there and I said, he was halfway into the second row. And I said, listen, I took the half of the second row, put it on top of the third row. And I said, you might be quicker than me, but you ain't going to see more than me. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't even be in here. So I find 2 records I really wanted bad. One was Foot Stomping the Flares. I love that record, still love it. But at the time, I couldn't find that record. And so this is 1962. And I had already been listening to Blavitt. And so anyway, I found 2 records, but I needed a third record. And Bob, who I'm still pissed at, because he ran in before me, he says, do you want this record? It was in my pile. In the pile is my shit. I said, yeah, only because he wanted it. That's why I took it. So I get it, and I didn't know what it was.
Castile.
But I put it in the bag, and I leave. We're walking back up to get on the train to come out of the city. And where we at 10th and Chestnut, that's where that record, that's the store. I see, whoa, there's the store that Blavitt advertises. It's always talking about. We go in, we can't even get in the door. We finally get in. It's all these kids in there. And then they have signs all over the walls. And it says, they'll pay $1 a piece for all these records. Okay, well, that's what a record's worth, $1, right? In my head, because I hadn't been in New York yet. I didn't know anything about the craziness. I just knew a record was $1 at the most. Otherwise, they're 5 for $1 if you can wait till they come off the jukeboxes. So anyway, I'm looking. I have a lot of records in my collection, 1,000, at least 1,000, 1,500. I never heard of any of these friggin' records. The Harp Tones, or this and that, all groups. And I'm like, this is insane. So I'm looking, and they go up. The prices are going up now at $2 a piece, 3, 4. It goes all the way around. And right by the door when I came in, there's one record listed that they'll pay $12 for. And I go, what? Holy shit. That's the record in my bag. That's the 3rd record that I just bought.
For Homeboy.
Right?
Yeah, the one your friend wanted.
Yeah. He knew more than me, I guess. Who knows? But anyway, I say, holy shit. So I go up through the people and I get to the counter. I said, yo, hey, I got that record. He said, what record? I said, Just a Lonely Christmas by the Moonglows on Chance.
Wow.
And he goes, you're full of shit. I said, really? How about this? And I take it out of the bag and I put it in his face. What's this look like? You know? And he goes, all right, I'll give you $6 for it. So I go, $6, huh? It says 12, you schmuck. What are you giving me 10? I'm sorry, what do you give me 6 for? He goes, that's 12 credit. I don't know what that means. 12 credit. You can have any 12 records you want in here, but you can't have cash. Well, I want cash. It says 12. I want 12 cash. So I'm fighting with the guy, and I was about ready to give it to him for the 6 because I don't even, $6, that's still 5 more than I ever heard of. So, and if I played it, I would have thrown up. So, anyway, this guy kicks me. The guy on my side of the counter kicks me. And I turned to him. I said, what the hell are you doing? And he goes, meet me outside. I'll give you $10 for that record. So I go outside and he gives me $10. I give him the record. Okay.
Who was the guy?
Guy's name, he lived in California, he died. Rick Nelson, not the singer. Did you know Rick? In Los
Rick
Angeles.
Nelson, yeah, rings a bell.
Great guy.
Yeah.
So he's friends with Billy Vera. He's the old time.
Bill Roberts and all those guys.
All that. So anyway, bottom line is, I get on the phone with my mother, go to a payphone. Mom, you'll never believe this. I just bought a record for 30 cents and sold it for $10. And she says, you know what? Dinner's been on the table for an hour. Get your ass home. Like, I couldn't give a shit what you just did. But you know what? To me, it was amazing. Then I go to Times Square. 6 months later, we get on a bus, and the guy, Bob, wants to see what Times Square is like, because this kid in the record museum that worked there said, if you think this is nuts, you ought to go to New York and see what's going on up there. So he more or less made me go. We got on the Greyhound bus, went up there, found the place, and I go in, and I'm looking, and I see these prices. It's like, holy shit. And then this kid's looking at me from behind the counter. He goes, hey, you look familiar. And I said, I don't think so. I'm from Philadelphia. He goes, that's it. You're the kid that told me the record for $10.
Oh, wow.
And it goes, and I see it's up on the wall for $26 or something. So, it's like, what the fuck? I thought it did good. But anyway, bottom line, that was a very important thing that happened to me, because it just showed me
two things you missed right here.
Go ahead.
Here's what it is. The number one reason why you're a record dealer today is because of that fucking story.
That's true. I told that to Rick Nelson. That's
the number one reason
right.
The number one reason that I'm a record dealer to this day is because of Eddie Estrada fucking me over.
There you go. Same shit. Wait a minute. Eddie Estrada fucked you over? Take a fucking number.
But that's the bottom line. Me and you are
exactly right. You're exactly right.
Because of those fucking stories.
Absolutely true.
Yep.
Absolutely true.
That's the climax of the orgasm right there, bro.
No question. Okay. Yep. All right. Next question, number 2.
All right.
You're up to
number 3.
So Val, male vocal harmony groups from the 50s and 60s, the style of music that moves you the most.
Yes.
What is it about these particular years? Why male vocal groups? And what are the attributes, characteristics that define this style that you love so much?
First of all, there were kids off the street, because there were certain things that happened that changed this whole picture. Before, when I was a kid, I was born in 44. Pop records were big. My first records even weren't group records. Were like Just Walking in the Rain by Johnny Ray, Moonlight Gambler by Frankie Lane, Singing the Blues, Guy Mitchell. They're the records that I bought because that's what I heard on the radio. I love those records. Now, the group records, I didn't even know about them. I mean, I had records like Get a Job, The Silhouettes. I bought that new. I bought black records that were harmony records, but I never knew there was a whole bunch of these things out there that never got airplay. So it's magic, and it started out with Blavitt when I heard Every Day of the Week and I'm So Young. That's the first record that I went nuts over, and I brought it in here to show you. You ready?
Yeah.
Here it is. This is the original label.
Whoa.
You see that? I can't even tell if I'm holding it up right. Am I? Can you see that?
Upside down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Here you go, everybody.
Yeah, I'm so young. That's it.
You see it?
Students.
No,
The
that's
students on
note.
note. Yep, that's it.
Yeah. And by the way, see the title? So
I'm
young.
so young. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not not I'm so young. It
Yeah.
comes both ways.
Yeah. I've never
I
had it
don't
like
know if
that.
that.
I've
It's
always
probably
had it
the
the other way.
first. It's probably the first. But anyway, so the harmony. It's 4 or 5 guys that are just singing on the street corner. It's that whole thing again. And if they're lucky enough, they got a record deal. They somebody picked up in a Cadillac and said, "Come on, kids, you're gonna be." All they cared about was 2 things. Ready? They cared about hearing their record on the radio and getting the girls.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. They didn't give a
Yeah.
shit. They never made a dime. I want to hear my record on the radio, and I want those girls. So these
Yeah.
records were all written about women.
Yeah.
Please say you want me. I'm so young. All kinds of shit like that. So,
Or just thinking
and
about a
I
girl
love those
like
records.
Gloria or whatever.
They speak to you. Now, you would think women would love these records. This is fascinating to me. Women should go crazy over this shit because they're pouring their hearts out and all. My wife says, "The hell they're all full of shit." Is what she says. And whatever. So listen. All I know is it affected me, and I knew there had to be other people like me that were just blown away. I sold all my pop records, and I started over again. I sold all my shit that I collected all those years for 10 cents a piece, and I said, I don't want this shit no more. I only want these other records. And I didn't care about labels. I just wanted the music. And you know what? I loved the music more. I played it all the time. The labels is when you get into the labels, that's when it gets nuts. Then all of a sudden, the love of the music changes to, well, what label do you have it on? I mean, there's people I know that have radio shows. We don't play anything unless it's the original. Well, what are you, a fucking asshole? Who the hell knows what you're playing? It's stupid. So, but anyway, whatever. I just wiped out all the DJs I know. So, anyway.
Well, when I met Jimmy Amato, I
love him.
I met him in Austin. He's like, Michael, let me tell you, when you get all these guys in the corner and they're singing this shit, I can't fucking tell you any better than this.
Absolutely.
We only collect the groups. The groups.
I know he needed that.
And no man, Michael,
he didn't have that front tooth.
It can't be a fucking trio. It's
gotta
be 4 or more.
Listen, I hate to say it, but
if it ain't 4 or more, it's not a fucking group.
See, you're right, because I have a problem. I can't keep Shep and the Limelights. I love those records, but I can't keep in my collection because there's only 3 guys on it, right?
Yeah.
That's a sickness. So even if the 4th guy was a mute, I'd file him. If the fucking guy couldn't even fucking sing,
gotta be
it doesn't
4,
matter.
man.
There's got to be 4. If there ain't 4, I don't want to even know about it. I remember having this record once. Listen, here's a funny story. I found this record. The preteen. Here you go. I can't be telling this shit, but here's one. So I get this record I found junkin', the preteens on J&S. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's a girl group.
Yeah.
But it says their names over the title. It's right. It was like it was not a promo, but it came out of a radio station. And it had like Joan, Jackie, and some other girl. It was 3. I think they were all J's. And
trio,
so it was only 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I took my pen and added a 4th one. The only reason it sold was because I had to put another girl's name on the damn label. That's the sickness.
Yeah, man.
You got it. There's only 3 on that, the preteens. But don't tell anybody, especially the person I sold it to. I don't even remember who it was.
Yeah,
hopefully
I find
it was
great records from California.
Hopefully it was Eddie Estrada that bought it. But go ahead, I'm back.
Yeah, I find great records in California, 3 guys, and then Eddie be like, they don't want it. It's got to have 4.
I know, he's right. He's right. Because I remember groups when I started this, like the Resonics, which is your kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know that label? You know that record, Resonics?
Yeah,
I forget the name.
it's on Lucky Token.
That's it, Loki. Yeah, but that's got to be a trio. But it's good. They're real good. It's that
it's actually a duet, I think.
Okay, you might be right.
Yeah.
I just know I liked it.
Yeah.
When I was into all kinds. By the way, one of your questions I'm going to tell you before you tell me was how did you get into this with the sound? By the way, there were no books then. We would just run around and buy 10-cent records that ended in S. That means it's a group. So, we play them, and it's like we're throwing the shit. It's like if I hear a guitar, that's a fucking rockabilly record. Here, see if I can break the fucking thing on my first spin. You know, in other words, I didn't even know there was rockabilly collectors. We're throwing that shit, smashing it. So I only wanted groups. I'm the only major collector that doesn't collect girl groups. You know
Right.
that? I
Yeah.
don't. I'm the
You
only
know
one.
what?
I
I,
love
I
girl leads. I love a girl lead with a male group, but
yeah.
I don't want them in the background. I don't want them
Yeah,
back.
I was telling I think I was telling Wax about it. You know, all the years I've been collecting in my doo-wop stuff, it's
Yeah,
big. But
yeah,
you know, one day I just said, you know, I'm gonna separate it. And man, I swear, Val, I went through every record of doo-wop,
yes.
and I only ended up with one little tiny box of girl groups. I mean,
Yeah,
it
the
was like
Chantels.
20.
I know what you
They
kept.
can't sing.
Yeah,
They
the
can't. The backup.
Chantels. There are girl groups that can sing.
Yeah.
There's
Oh
plenty of
yeah.
them.
But I mean,
But
out of all
I
the
don't.
years,
But
it
it
was
ain't the
like
same.
just
It
me.
ain't the same.
It's not the same.
But I love the Chantels. I mean, those records.
Yeah.
He's going up. What he's going up against anything. Here,
Yeah.
the Cliquettes.
Oh
Whatever the
yeah.
hell it's called. That
It's
lovers. Whatever the hell it is. What is that?
yeah.
Lovers what? Where's Chuck?
Oh,
Can't even.
it's
Lovers prayer. Lovers prayer.
Lover's Prayer. Yeah.
Fucking
Lover's Prayer.
record's great. So
Yeah.
you know, but you know, I'd rather hear her sing. That's Barbara English. I'd rather hear her sing with a male group. Now
Yeah.
here's one of my favorite records. It's funny. I know that I called a guy up one day because he used to be in the Valentines. He produced the record. If you want to, by the Carousels on Gone. You know that record?
Oh yeah.
Oh my! It's a
Great.
girl lead with a male group. Insane. It's got 3 different titles. One's called Because I, and the one I keep is You Can Come. What kind of
Yeah.
You Can Come? You know, it's like hello. That's the
Yeah.
title of a song.
Yeah. You
So
can come.
they changed it all. You know, to if you want to. But
It,
there's an insane record.
yeah.
That's that,
Yeah.
and he told me the story about her. He
I
was
got it.
walking
Yeah.
down the street. The guy who produced the record told me he was in Brooklyn or something, and these girls are all singing on the corner. And he says, "Listen, I used to be in the Valentines." I said, "I can get you a record deal. Come call me. Here's my number." And what do you call it? She never called. The girl didn't call. And so he ran into her again. What happened to you? You're supposed to call. He goes, "Well, I didn't really have a girl group. I'm in a male group." He said, "Well, you should have come." He goes, "Well, I thought you only wanted if it was girls." So that's the record.
Yeah.
His name's Richard Francis is the way. Mickey Francis. That's who
Yeah.
produced
It's
that
like
record.
it might be a Richard Barrett thing too. You know.
Well, Barrett was on Gone, Barrett, but
Yeah.
not he might have been involved too. Too
Yeah.
late to ask him. I was very good friends with him. I
Yeah.
loved Richard Barrett.
It's yeah. She has that real high tenor. It's
Oh
just
my
it's
God, she's insane.
yeah.
That record is a killer. That's a big Pittsburgh.
It's real. She's
You
out there.
got it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. So anyway, so here we are talking about this shit instead of soul records. What kind of you got everybody tuned
Well,
you
no,
out?
it's not such about soul. It's just really about records that
Okay.
have
No,
came from
well,
doo-wop's the root of soul.
exactly. And you know what? The problem with what happened to me was I'm good up until soul kicks in because they took away the bass singer and they put a bass guitar in. You know,
Yeah,
where it's, you know, all that kind of shit. So you
yeah,
lose the bottom on the records, and then everything goes top heavy, which is your sweet soul. And you know, you
yeah,
get, and then the impressions probably had the biggest impression in this. They were probably the most important act in the '60s
yeah,
because you know what? Everybody copied. First of all, the guy was a genius. You know, everything he touched was, you know, he knew how to write. He was amazing.
yeah.
Talking about
Curtis and Butler.
Curtis, yeah, but Curtis. I
Yeah,
loved the impression when there was 5 of them,
yeah,
but then they become 3, and it worked. You know, people get ready and all that stuff, and you know what? Everybody else said, "Why do we need 5? We can do 3." You know,
yeah.
it's
Well,
easier to keep 3 guys together than it is 5, and it's easier. That's what we'll get more money too. It's you know, we'll bring the money home to our wives or whatever. Who knows? So
Mhm.
that's what. But that here comes all your shy lights. I think there was 5 of them initially, or at least 4. But you know, the Delphonics,
do,
all the trio guys, all the trio groups.
let me ask you something.
Basically, what? Go ahead.
Do you still have that section in your house when I was there? It's like
Yes.
I might file it.
Yep. Yeah. My
All the
maybes.
black
My
sleeves.
maybes. You're amazing. Yes. My black
Yeah,
sleeves are soul, but
yeah. But they're in the
they're
middle.
50
The
shit that I hear
crossover, the
girls.
grades.
I
Yeah,
hear girls in there.
yeah.
They ruined the records by putting girl choruses on top of the group. You know,
Right.
some of
But
the
the
5
lead sounds
keys are
like
that
somebody from
way.
the Castells.
What? What
But
about the
the lead singer sounds like somebody from the Castells.
You're right. You're right. But I love the
Yeah.
Castells. Don't make fun of them. So
Yeah.
anyway,
No, I'm not making fun. I'm
yeah,
saying
no, I know you're
that's why
not.
you like it.
I know you're not. I know. But anyway, where are we going with this? I don't know where. But you don't either, so it doesn't matter. Um, Oh, so I don't even remember. I'll go off on tangents. Anyway, I'm
I
very
got
glad.
you.
Right. What are we up to? Question 6. What is it?
Wow, we're getting there. We're getting there. So listen, one of your goals was to have the best collection, and you've already
Yes.
showed us one record. But I'd love it if you could show us more. These are
Oh,
records that really
yeah.
moved you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show you. I brought in records. I brought in like maybe up to 15 records, very rare records. Okay.
Show me your 5 rarest that you love.
Well, then I'd like, well, here's the best. Here, hold on. I'm going to show you this. I wish I could do this
Uh-oh.
without me in it. Why can't I? Here, this is the best rare record ever made, bar none. This is not only a rare record. I've had a lot of this record, believe it or not. That's another story. They found the owner of this. Everybody wanted to find the owner, and finally, a friend of mine found him and gave it to me and said, "See if you can deal with him." And I got all the records from him.
The
But
Hideaways?
yeah, you got it. You got it. That's the baby.
How did you know?
The
I
most
just know, man.
desirable record and the best record. There's plenty of rare records that are worth a fortune, but they suck, or
That'd
they're
be
just okay at best.
the Ronnie record.
This is to die for,
Yeah,
sound wise.
record,
Everybody should, even if you don't collect this shit, go on YouTube and put "Can't Help Loving That Girl of Mine" by the Hideaways in on Ronnie, Ronni. All right, here it comes.
Yep, that's it.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Not really. Hold on.
We see Ronnie.
What am I doing wrong?
You're good. You're good.
I'm trying to figure out. There it is.
Yeah, we don't have to read it. We just want to see it. Yeah,
that's a $10,000 record all day long. Okay, here's a $15,000 record. Ready?
Let's see that motherfucker.
Philadelphia. Watch this.
Woo!
Hold on. Can you see? Let me see
Yeah.
if I can do this. Okay.
Yeah, you can see it. Yep.
You know what it is? Estelle by the Belltones.
Oh, the
brand,
Belltones. Yeah, Estelle.
on red plastic. I think there's only 2, maybe 3 copies.
Is it Kitty Wax?
Yes.
Yeah,
Kitty wax. All right, that's 2. All right, next.
You don't know that term, huh?
I was just gonna ask you what's kitty wax.
Kitty wax is that baby shit. They used it because it was real cheap. It was like children's records. They ground.
Yeah, now they call it opaque.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know everything, you genius. What are you doing? You should interview yourself. All right, look. Here we go. From California.
The
That's
Spitfire.
One of yours. That's one of yours. Hold on.
That's one of mine.
I got that from Dave.
Oh, okay.
I traded him. He gave me this for, you ready?
Yeah.
Estelle. I gave him Estelle. I had a double on that opaque plastic. At that time, you know what I valued at? $500. And he valued that. That was in his collection. He said, "I'll get another one. You can keep it. Take mine." Okay, I already put this up. I put Eddie's the Fam record up already, right? The beginning.
Yep.
That was the beginning.
Yep.
Here's a nice one. This is very rare, pretty. This is the G label that had Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers.
Oh yeah, that's
the multi. Here's
the multi. Wow.
No, I don't have that. I have some, but no, I don't have that one. Dave had that. Here, ready? Look.
Oh, the coins.
The coins on G, you genius.
Yeah,
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to see. Okay.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, good. Pretty record. Okay.
Yeah, that's nice.
Came from a collection I bought. Okay. Here's the record. A guy came in here, a cop from New York. This guy brought him down here one day. He goes, "I got the greatest record you'll ever hear." It was Warped. And he goes, "I want a lot of money for it." I said, "What kind of money?" He goes, "I won't sell it for less than $5,000. I said, "Let me hear this record." I put the needle on. I said, "Holy shit." He goes, "Leave it on, leave it on." I said, "I don't want to hear it," because it was killing me. I'll be on the floor dead. That's how good it was. So anyway, I had to give him the money. I got it straightened out. And then the guy that brought him here, brought him down here. So I said, "Listen, thank you for bringing the guy." Even though I said, "If you tell anybody I paid this money for this record, I'm going to kill you." You hear me? Don't ever tell anybody. And he says, "Wait a minute, guess what? We're not done yet." I said, "What are you talking about?"
I need my cut.
And he says, "You got to pay me now. I brought him the fuck down here." And I had to give him $1,000 worth of records, albums. Norman something, a real crook. Anyway, Norman, he was a Blue Chip Records, whoever the fuck that was. I forget his name.
Norman
Peters.
Peters.
What?
Norman Peters?
No, Norman. I forget. I can't remember. I don't want to remember.
Norman Rockefeller.
That's it. Rock. Some shit like that. You almost said it. Not Rockefeller. All right, here's the record. Watch this. Fucking great.
Kidding.
Hold on. I know you were.
That's it?
You know that record? No, you
Oh
don't.
yeah. No,
Do
I
you?
don't know it. I seen a bootleg of it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. If you saw a
No,
bootleg of it, go get it because it was never fucking booted.
no, I
There's,
don't know it
there's
to be
only,
honest.
I think there's 3 known copies of this record.
Yeah, I
Wow.
never seen it.
Oh,
Never
why?
seen
By
it.
the soft tones on CB. Great record. Okay,
CB.
here's the first record on Checker. This is worth a fortune. This is fabulous. This is just die you die. Listen to this one. Okay, this is hold on.
The Blue Jays.
No, better, rare, much rarer than the Blue Jays, and that's rare. This is When I Look at You. The encores on Checker.
Oh, the Encore. Yeah.
760, first record on the label.
Yeah, I never
Okay?
had that.
That's insane. You got to hear it. Okay, here's a Philly group, New York record, Philly group. This is the first Ravel's record. Before they had a few mild hits here, but this is the first they ever did. This is insane. It's called My Lost Love by the Ravel's Quartet on Atlas.
Oh yeah,
Now I'm
Atlas.
figuring out how to do this. That's a killer. That's a
Yeah,
great
that's a
record.
killer.
And the other side's real good. It's called Love My Baby.
That I have a boot of.
Yeah, no, yes you do. Yes you do. Yes
Yeah,
you do.
I got it from
Okay.
you.
No, I saw it was an original. You fuck. You owe me money. Hold on one second. Oh, here. So here's the first group record on VJ. I sold this to Billy Vera, if he's listening. Here, watch this. You ready?
At
Hold
my
on.
front door.
No, I bought that at Allentown. I got fucked. Your
You got that
buddy
from
out
Eddie.
there. No, that didn't come from Eddie. That came
Yeah,
from
it did.
no, it didn't.
Who
No,
had
it
at my
didn't.
front door then?
I'll tell you where I got it. Mike.
Mike Vague.
That's it.
Mike
Mike Vague. That's it.
Okay.
A lot of money too. See this?
Uh-uh.
Spaniels. Baby, it's you.
Oh, baby, it's
Right?
you, red plastic. Yeah.
Yeah, Baby, it's you. VJ is the original.
Yeah.
And Chance picked it up because they were bigger at the time. VJ
Yeah.
was just starting out. So everybody,
Yeah.
that's the first. Okay, here's the only known copy of this record. Okay? It's one of the ones that I bought when I was buying all that shit that I wasn't supposed to have. The Sun Records. I found this. Actually, I found this in a load. This guy said you can have anything in this place for $1. And I'm in there, and I found like 10 copies of Love Bells by the Five Willows on PD. And $1 each. Not bad. I was selling it for $75 at the time.
Right.
So, what do you call it? So the guy comes in. He had locked me in the room. So he opens the door and he goes, "How you making out?" I said, "Good." I just had to go to the bathroom. I shit in one of the boxes over here. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I said, "Look." So he said, "Let me see what you found. Let me see what you found." And I say, so I showed him the PD record, and he goes, "You think I'm going to give you these fucking records for $1 a piece? You're out of your fucking mind. I want $100 a piece." I said, "I only sell it for 75." So anyway, he just threw them in the pile. He just lobbed them across the room, which made me nuts. So I didn't leave yet, but I knew I was going to have a problem. So I find this record, which I'm about to show you. It's the only known copy in the whole game. Nobody has this record. And I knew no way am I going to be able to get it. So I put it in a Bill Haley and the Comets EP cover, which who would give a shit? The guy would probably think, what the hell is he buying this for? So it didn't matter. I put it in there and he never pulled the record out and I got it. Here it is. Only known copy. Coming up.
Prisoners.
Prisoners. Not the first one, because that's around. Just Walking in the Rain. But this one, A Prisoner's Prayer on Red. Nobody has this. So I got that. I have to thank Bill Haley for that. Okay, next. I showed you Cindy already. I'm down to one more record and we're quitting. I didn't bring any more in. This is enough. I had armed guards bring this shit with me. Okay, here it is. Last one.
Yeah, Chuck with his 9mm.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, I won't even let him near him. Okay, here it is. The last one. Okay, this is impossible. Impossible.
Did you get that from the Strobers?
No. Hey, wait, is he listening? Is Jeff listening? Is he one of your guys?
Who? The
Jeff
Strobers?
Stolper. No, Jeff Stolper.
Oh, no. I meant the Strobers, the coin guys.
Oh, the Strobers. No,
Yeah.
I sell them. They don't sell me. Okay, here we go. You ready? Here. Coming up. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that record? I don't think so.
I can't see the title.
It's called Night Has Come by Billy Austin and the Hearts. It's a male group.
No, I don't know.
And it is so friggin' rare. I don't think I know there ain't 5. There might be 2. I had a double.
Did they boot it?
No, never booted. No.
Probably don't know where to fucking record it.
Exactly. Nobody could go. Where are you going to get it? I ain't giving it to them. So So anyway, that's it. All right.
Val.
That's rare record part 3. All right. Next. What's your
Question
next
6.
question?
Val,
Yeah.
Val,
What?
how much are all those records worth right there, roughly?
Seriously?
100,000.
Hold on. Okay. What do I think? If I had to sell these records, I wouldn't sell them. They're in my collection. You can't buy them for any amount of money. But here, okay, watch this. I'm going to tell you what these records.
How much is your wife gonna sell them for? Let's know
My
that
wife
price.
will probably get. I would say she might get $1 a piece for them. But yeah, she's gonna. It's gonna be all the guys that are gonna be waiting for me. They'll all be on the lawn.
That's what I
Fred
told my
Vaughn,
wife. I
Rose
said,
and
"You
Richie
take me
Rosen
out
will
and
come in
you're
on a
fucking
walker.
rich."
Richie's on a walker now, so he'll be there. And let's see, who else will be there? Who'd you just say?
I know who will be there.
Oh, Eddie Estrada might even come in. Eddie might come in for this.
The
Go ahead,
cockroach.
what?
The cockroach will be there.
Which
You know the
one's?
cockroach,
Oh, I
right?
know that. Greg,
cockroach?
Zurich.
No,
Don't
not
say that in front
Zurich.
of Mike. Hold
Zurich's
it.
the weasel. Zurich's the
Oh,
weasel.
okay. Who's the cockroach?
The cockroach is Rosen.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Oh, that's right, because that's what he uses when he eats.
Yeah,
He brings the vial. You know about
roach in
that?
the meal, so you don't have to fucking
Yeah, you got that. He usually stays at a place where they got a room to stay.
Yeah.
Orders the best steak in the place.
Yeah.
And then he finishes, almost done, and then he brings the vial out, puts the cockroach on the plate,
Yep.
and calls the manager over and says, "I'm ready to throw up. Look at this." Well,
Yep.
sir, he goes, "What are you talking about, sir? I'm sick as a dog. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
I got to stay over." "Well, we don't have a room." "Well, you better find a fucking room, because my lawyer's going to be on the phone with you tomorrow morning." So they put him in the suite.
True
They
story.
put him in the suite. And then here, I'll just tell you this. How do I know this story? Richie tells me. So he says he's going up to his room.
Tell it to you.
He's going up. Yeah, he's going up to his room, and he goes to the front desk, and he says, "It better be a nice room, or I'm going to be really. I'll be calling down here, and make sure you got whatever. There's food up there too, right? There's food in that
Fucking
room.
room service.
Yeah, exactly. So then he says, "Oh, what's that? Give me that Playboy back there behind you." And so the guy said, "That's not. Hold on, that's not mine, sir. That belongs to the guy that comes on after me." He goes, "Give it to me. I want it. I'll read it. I'll bring it back in the morning. Stop being an asshole. Give me the fucking magazine. Give me the magazine." And then you know what he tells me? The next morning, I'm up at the airport. I took the magazine. I went up to the magazine rack. I said, "Listen, I bought this yesterday by mistake. I already read it. Can I have a different magazine?"
Fucking guy, man.
That's him.
Yeah, that's
Now
him,
I know the cockroach. Any other names?
Free food.
By the way, do we have any normal people in this fucking hobby? I'll answer
No.
for you. No.
Not even us. Not even us.
Yeah, you're right. No, we're the good ones. What are you, nuts?
Oh, this fucking guy. Well, here, look. This guy.
We're not-
Another fucker. Yeah.
Suave,
What's that? No. Hey,
It's a whack. Hey, just great. This is a great interview right here, man. The best. Love
you're
it, man.
kidding. You
Let's
really?
go. Keep it going for 3 hours.
Yeah, suavecito, man.
All right, what's next? Come on. No,
Give
number
me another
7.
one.
Come on, let's do it. I'm ready.
All right.
Holy shit! What are you doing? I thought this was an hour. It's past my bedtime. Go ahead. What?
We're almost there.
I don't
So-
care. What do you have for
Selling
breakfast?
records, buying records has been part of your identity since you were a child, from selling records out of your car.
Yep.
Then there's the mail order, and
Yes.
then it turns into this massive building, 4 million records. What's the motivation to continue buying, and not just buying records here and there, but you were buying out massive collections? I think one of them, you bought 1 million records in one shot.
I did. That was 1990 or 91. I could never do that again. I can't do any of this shit anymore. Now I cherry pick. I can't, or I turn it on to somebody else. I can't move in here. If you saw how bad this place was, hold on.
It's
Listen,
so fun. Let me tell you.
You have no
it's
idea.
so- I can imagine how bad it is now.
Listen. No, you can't even imagine. I'm
But
trying
fuck,
to.
back
minute, hold
then
on.
it was bad.
Oh no, it's 10 times worse. Look,
Oh,
here's this is my friggin' desk. Look, here's my desk. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Val, I don't think you should move too much.
Okay, I'm not gonna move.
Stay
Wait a
still. We've got too much
Okay,
to ride
okay.
right now.
Sure. All right, never mind.
it's a lot. It's a
I don't
lot.
want to show you. But anyway,
It's a fucking record Jenga.
yeah, Jenga. What the hell? I don't know that one. Who does it?
Jenga is
Jenga.
like that Leaning Tower of Pisa. Everything's ready
Okay.
to fall over, man.
Holy shit! I got the wrong damn thing. Hold on.
Uh-oh. He's gonna charge his phone.
I hope that looks like a Cat 5 internet cable.
Yeah, he's got the old stuff.
Still there? Wow. This
Yeah, we're
phone,
here.
I got
We're
a
still
problem
here.
here. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Don't leave. Don't leave. I just realized the power cord has been unplugged.
Okay.
So I got to plug this in again. I don't know where the hell. Oh, I
I
got
got
it.
high
Hold
blood
on.
pressure, Val. I
Oh,
got
no,
high
that's
blood
all right.
pressure.
Hold on. Stay there.
You're
Hold
good.
on. Hold on.
This is
Okay.
what makes the show
We're
good right here.
back
All
in.
this
I'm
shit.
back on. Hold on. I'm plugged in again.
All right, you're on candid camera. Go for it.
All right.
All right,
Now,
what's your question?
what's my motivation? In the beginning, I just like to have a lot of records. Okay. But it's way past all that. Now it's stupid. I used to think it was great. Like I bought all the million records. So I made my money back. Okay. So that was good. But who the hell's going to buy all this shit? So I had these guys here, two young guys that were in the basement, and they spent a lot of money with me. And they said, "What are you doing with all the country shit down there?" I said, "What's wrong with it?" He goes, "You ever sell it?" I said, "Yeah, I sell a little bit of everything. I don't sell a lot of anything. I sell a little bit of everything." So he says to me, "When's the last time you sold a Jeannie Fricky or Janie Fricky? What's her name, Chuck?" Janie Fricky. Chuck's back. And I said, "I don't know, probably never." He goes, "You got about 400 records of her down there. Throw them in the fucking garbage." I said, "You've touched those records, I'll break your fingers." You know, don't throw it. She might go down in a fucking plane next week, you dumb fuck. So, anyway.
No, you know what you told me? You know what you
What?
told me?
I know. I
there?
told you Madonna. Madonna has to die 10 fucking times to get rid of all the shit in here.
Nah, the best line, I'll never forget it.
Go ahead.
As I said, "Hey, Val, you know, all this shit's just going to fucking be on top of your fucking head one day." You know what he said?
What?
"I'll die happy."
There you go.
I'll die happy.
And my wife will too. My
Yeah,
wife
man.
will be thrilled to have a fucking party.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, where are we?
Val,
Yes.
so, you know, one of the things that, again, as I was doing my research, I'm like, man, I got to get out to that store one day. But one
What?
thing that's very different about your store is you simply, nobody, you know, not just anybody can come in and shop. You've got to give a list to you or Chuck.
You got to give the list to Chuck. I don't, unless it's my shit. You know,
Okay.
if it's the 50 stuff, but they ain't alive. They're dead. So, you know, it's going to be soul. That's who comes in here. But, and if I like you, if I'm in a good mood, I'll let you go back and fuck up the place. I mean, you know, they're putting it away in the wrong place. You might as well steal it. In other words, if you take this shit and put it where it doesn't belong because you can't figure out where it went, you might as well take it. Steal the shit because I'll never find it again. So anyway, no, but people come here from out of town. Nobody gets me because they have signs on the door. Do not enter. Keep moving. You know, all this kind of shit. My idea of a good day is when nobody comes in here. Or, Chuck, somebody comes in. "Hi, what do you have by Lawrence Welk?" Well, the truth is, I do have Lawrence Welk. But you know what? When they hear the prices, they think they're fucking, you know, quarter a piece or something. So, I mean, I treat Lawrence Welk the same way as I do the fucking Ravens. You know, Lawrence Welk. Are you kidding? I got him. One day, somebody called up here for somebody on RCA, Gold Series. I forget who it was. Chuck, you listen to me? Oh, he's going again. What the fuck is he even doing here? So anyway, so I said, "I don't have that shit." And he's "We got it. Are you fucking crazy? We got it." And he runs up and he gives me a handful of the guy he asked for. I said, "Hold on, I just got him in. Hold on. What do you need?" And so, you know, I'm reading them to him, and the guy goes, "How much?" I said, $20 a piece. No, probably $25 each. I said, "You take them all, they're 20. And he bought them all. So it was like, you know, you never know. Hey, here's the go. I do this because I get off on making people happy. Okay, that's one of the things why I do this. A guy walked in here from California one day. He was here on business. He says to me, "Listen, somebody told me about you. You're supposed to have all the shit. You got everything." He goes, "I know one. I know a record you don't have." I says, "What is it?" He says, I've been looking for this record my whole life. I sing on the record. We were kids. We made this record." I said, "What is it?" He goes, "I'll give you $100 if you have this record." So I said, "Go ahead." And he tells me, I said, "What label?" He tells me the label. I said, "Hold on. I might have that." So I go in the back and I look, and he's up front. And I said, "How many you want?" And he goes, "Oh, shit." So I said, I said, well, let me teach you something. Never go into a place and say, I'll give you $100 a record. You're out of your fucking mind. You go in and you act like you'll pay $1 for it. You don't say 100 to somebody like me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I said, here's the story. I got 5 copies. You got any of these guys still alive? He says, yeah, we're all alive. This is in the 70s. I says, here, I'll give you them all. Can I have all 5 for $100? Guy loved it. So, you know, that's what I
Cool.
do.
What was the record? You remember?
No, no, I don't want to remember. I'm happy it left.
Yeah. It's probably pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh, here's
It was
one.
Jenny
Ready?
Fricky's
Hold
brother.
on, I got a better one. Guy calls up one day, says to me, you got Johnny Mendel doing the strut? And I said, yeah, I'm sure I have that. Hold on. I get up, I walk over. I come back. I said, yeah, I got it, John. He says, wait a minute.
How'd you know?
Did you know what you just said, John? And I said, yeah. He goes, you think I'm? I said, aren't you Johnny Mendel? He says, how the fuck did you know? I said, who the fuck would want it other than you?
I knew that was coming, man.
And then there's another. I mean, I got a million of them. I
I'm
like to play with
speechless.
the artists. I like the artists. Listen, so I get a guy, Junior Perillo, who's like an opera singer, but he made one record which has a bass on it, and it's good, called Here Am I, Broken Hearted, by the 4 J's on Jamie. Do you know that record?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know it, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Here am I, here am I, here am I. The bass wasn't even part of the group. They did, he overdubbed that and made the record good. But normally they suck. So anyway, they made a record after that called By Love Possessed, which is a fucking opera record. And I hate opera.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, so the guy walks in here one day and he goes, are you Val? I said, yeah. He goes, we have so many friends. I know so many people that are always talking about you. I had to come in and introduce myself. I'm Junior Perillo. I said, hey, how you doing? Good to meet you. So he says, how my records doing? How do they do? I said, I said, here am I sells. They both sell good. I says, listen. I said, here am I. I get that one because they put Bobby Finezio. He's the bass on the record, and you know, I said that's why they want. That's what makes that record great to me, not you singing the lead. But then I said the other record, I would give you 10 cents for. Fucking worst record ever made. He goes, what? And I said, I hate that fucking record. I hated it, but it sells. You ask how it's doing, it fucking sells. So he says, come here. I thought he was going to punch me in the face. He says, come here. Let me give you a card. We got to have dinner. So I says, what? We got to have dinner? Because I told you your fucking record sucks? He says, yep. He says, I said, what are you, nuts? He says, let me tell you something. Everywhere I go, everybody tells me how great I am. I walk in here, you tell me I'm a piece of fucking shit. You must know something they don't, because I never made a fucking dime in this business.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
And they go on and on. I got a million of them.
Val, let me ask you this real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm doing the research, and I pull up on Discogs a profile page, and it looks like you were associated with records that were put out. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I used to make records. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I put out records. I used to have a group, a singing group, that we almost had a hit record, The Clock by the Contenders. And I had an opportunity to sell it to some mob guy that called up, and I told him to go fuck himself, which was stupid. Well, I mean, he didn't come after me, but I said, he goes, I want to buy that fucking record. I said, go to a store and buy the fucking thing. Cost you $1. He goes, you dumb prick. I want to buy it. I want to own the fucking thing. I said, it ain't for sale, ass. And let this phone. Wait a minute.
His battery?
But I don't hear no noise. Usually there's a little. What the fuck?
We hear you fine. You're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, good. All right. Anyway, what do I want to tell you about Artie Singer? Maybe him? Oh, no. That's
No,
nothing.
the mob
It has you as a songwriter, too. You must
Oh,
have
no. I don't write. I haven't. I can't. I endorse checks. That's about it. I don't write a fucking thing. So, okay, that's it. So I put out records. I used to put out unreleased things that never came out. Okay. And so I took the first thing I did was, I did these things for 100 copies of each. This guy had a acetate. Oh, I know. I should tell you the best story in the world. I should tell you the best fucking story of them all. You ready? I was
We got
debating. I was debating whether to tell this story, and I figured, well, I'd have to curse, and I don't know if I should really be cursing on this thing. So, but now that I think I have cursed a couple times, so I'm going to tell you the story. Okay? Guy calls me up one day. He said, "Listen, are you Val?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I got this acetate. I was just junking. I was in a store in Newark. I found this fucking record, an acetate of a Solitaires record that never came out." I said, "What's the name of it?" He tells me Chapel of St. Clair and If I Loved You. I said, "You're right, never came out." So I said, "Listen." He says, "What?" I said, "What do you want for it?" He goes, "What do you want to give me?" I said, "Tell me what you want for it." I said, "I don't even, I want to put it out. I'm going to put it out. I'll make it. If it's decent, everybody loves the Solitaires. I'll put the fucking record out." So he says, "How about $500?" I said, "Nah, forget it." I said, "How about this? You ready? I'll give you $100. You send it to me. I'll give you $100. I'll bootleg the fucking record. I'll put it on Old Town. I'll make it red plastic, and I'll send you 5 copies, and I'll send you the acetate back. Because I don't want the acetate. I just want to put the record out." So he says, "You got it." So I did it. Okay? I made 300 copies. I had it done out there. Daly City Bob. Anybody know him? He's San Francisco. He's San Francisco. He just died, I think. Did he die, Chuck? Fucking Chuck's missing again. All right. Didn't Daly City Bob die? Holy shit, he ain't here. So anyway, listen. So I put the record out, right? And, you know, I advertised it, I guess. I don't know. I put it in magazines, $5. So I get a phone call from this girl one day, Marcia Vance. And she knew a lot of it. She worked in the business in publishing, and she knew all the owners and shit. And she said, "Val, you got a problem." I said, "I do?" She said, "Yep. That Solitaires record you put out, High Weiss knows about it. Somebody called High Weiss and told him about it." I said, "I thought High Weiss was dead." He said, "Nope, he's alive and well, and he's going to be calling you, and you're in trouble." So I go, "I'll just deny it." So he says, she says, "Good luck with that. You don't know High Weiss. He's murder." So you're going to like this story, guys. This is your best story of the day. So I get a call like the next day. High Weiss doesn't sound too happy. He says to me, "Are you Val?" I said, "Yep." He goes, "You're in fucking trouble, asshole." So I said, "Who's this?" He goes, "High Weiss." I said, "Oh, how you doing?" He goes, "Not too fucking good. You bootlegged my fucking record." I said, "What are you talking about? What record?" He said, "Solitaires on fucking, Old Town." I said, "I didn't do that." He goes, "You fucking lying piece of shit. You fucking did it. I know you did it." I said, "Listen, I didn't do it." "Listen, you little prick. I'll come down and put a fucking gun to your head. I'll kill you, you son of a bitch. Don't lie to me. I know you did that, motherfucker." So I said, listen, I didn't do the record. I didn't do it. I said, "This ain't going good." He goes, "You fucking did it. I want 10,000 fucking dollars, or you're fucking dead, asshole. You understand me? You get it?" So I said, "I don't have $10,000. And now I'm on to that. So he says, "Well, get a fucking gun. You got a bank near you. Rob a fucking bank. Hit a fucking 7-Eleven. Get that motherfucking money, dickhead. You understand me?" So I said, "Well, you're coming across." And now I'm joking about it. Now I wasn't laughing. This was not fucking good. So listen. So he's calling me every fucking day. Every time the phone rings, it's him.
He's full of shit.
No, listen, hold on. I know all about him now, but at the time I was scared fucking shitless. And he's telling me, "I know all about you. I did some fucking homework. I know where you live. I know you're in that fucking dump. I know you're in there late at night. You're gonna fucking die. I'm gonna give somebody $50 fucking dollars to take you out, you little piece of fucking shit. It's like you broke into my house and you stole a fucking ashtray. That's what it's like. Only guess what? I'm gonna fucking kill you, you prick. Do you understand? I'm gonna have you done. I'm not gonna do it myself. I wouldn't lower myself. I'm gonna have somebody else fucking do it." So he's got me listening to him. And I said, "Look, I don't have fucking money. I have $10,000. Meanwhile, so finally, I think, you know what? This went on for 3 or 4 days. Then he calls up one day and he says, "What are you doing for Thanksgiving?" I said, "Who the fuck is this?" First of all, I said, "I don't know." And he goes, "Don't make any plans because you're going to be fucking dead, asshole." So it was him. So any, anyway, so here's what that went on for a week. And John Anderson, the guy from England,
Yeah.
I love him. So John was here. He was, and I was in here late at night. I'm doing this late at night. This was in the 70s. So what do you call it? I don't have a life. All I do is work. So I'm in here, and you know, and what happened was this guy called me up. His name is Murray Sporn, and Murray Sporn owns Seville Records.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, and he does these things on television for the 70s and the 40s and the 50s and all this sort of shit. And he's always asking me my opinion. I like the guy. I've never met him. So I said, you know, High Weiss? He goes, he's my fucking neighbor. So I said, you got to do me a favor. You got to tell him to get off my, tell him I'm a nice guy. Tell him to listen, please, he's going to fucking have me killed. The guy is murder. He calls me every 5 minutes. He's killing me. So he says, let me see. Don't go. Stay there. Let me call him. It was probably 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I said, I'll be here till 2, 3 in the morning. Call me back. Meanwhile, he's not calling me. I'm sitting there with John. And then, so finally he calls me back hours later. And he goes, I can't do nothing. The fucking guy is insane. Why'd you pick on him? Why did you do him? I said, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I didn't know he's alive. So anyway, so what do you call it? The next day he calls up and he says, listen, pay real good attention to this, what I'm about to tell you. I said, what? He goes, if one of my friends calls me and tells me that you're a good guy, one more person, if anybody else calls me and says that you're okay, I don't want the money. I'm going to put a bullet in your fucking head myself. You understand me, dickhead? You understand me, you fucking piece of shit? And he's screaming and yelling like going crazy. So I said, okay, this is after 4 days of no sleep. I'm not eating. I didn't tell my wife. I wasn't married then. I was my girlfriend. I didn't tell her, but it wasn't looking good that week. So I said, let me think how this works. Okay, so here's the next move. He calls the next morning, whatever. Now we're into Friday. And I think John was sitting here. He's staying at my house, John Anderson. And now I'm had it. I haven't slept all week. I'm not eating. I don't feel good. And the guy he will not talk. I'm not going to give him 10,000. You're going to have to fucking kill me if you want 10. But anyway, 10 is get the fucking bullets and come down, because 10 you ain't getting. So, you know, it's the old story.
How about 5?
I mean, not 5 maybe, but not fucking 10. So anyway. So listen to this. So he calls up and he's screaming. I said, listen, hold on. Hi, listen to me. I feel like I've known you all my life. I'm not making jokes, by the way. All I'm saying is I respect you. And you know what? I love the work you've done. I'm trying all that. Shut the fuck up. Don't say anything good about me. Just give me the fucking money. And so all this is going on. And I said, you know what, Hi? I'm going to get off the phone now. I'm about to call. Hold on. See, you got me crazy. I'm not even in the picture. Here. I'm about to call. I just figured it out, Hi. I'm calling the FBI. I'm turning my fucking self in, because it can't be this bad. It can't. I'm turning myself in. I'm a bootlegger. I made the fucking record. I made 300 fucking copies. I'm willing to give you $5 for all the ones I sold, give you all the ones I didn't, and give you the fucking labels and the stampers and every fucking thing. And I can't do better than that. I can't do better. I don't have the fucking money. I don't have it. And you know what? I'm just turning my fucking self in. Fuck this. And so then he says, listen, I forget how I did this, but all I know is I said, listen to me. You ready? I just want to tell you something. It's very important. You've been screaming and yelling at me all fucking week. All week. You've been working me over. I've never been called such names in my life. And listen, I said, here's the deal. All I want you to do is not say anything for 3 minutes. Please. I want to tell you exactly what happened. I want to tell you exactly what happened. This guy calls me up. I want to tell you exactly. And why did I do it? Because I love the solitaires. And I just wanted people to be able to hear this stuff. And it's great. I love them. There's nobody better than the solitaires. They're the best. And I'm saying all this shit. Anyway, I started to get into it. I told him, I said, you got to promise me you're not going to talk till I'm done. Then you can say all the shit you want about me, but let me at least tell you why I did it. Okay? He goes, go ahead. And then I start, and I didn't even get into a half a minute. And he starts, you little fucking shit, and he's screaming and yelling at me. I said, that's it. I'm fucking done. Get the motherfucking gun and bring the fucking asshole down here. Goodbye, you fucking prick. And I hung up on him. Okay? Now, I've done. Get the fucking guy down here. Hurry the fuck up. I want to end my life. So, you ready? I get off the phone and I'm looking down at my paper. I'm working on an order. I said, what the fuck am I even doing an order for? I'm going to be dead in fucking, 5 hours. There's no fucking, what do I need to fucking finish anything for? I'm fucking done. The guy, and John Anderson sitting there, he goes, Val, why'd you do it? Why'd you fucking hang up on him? Why? And I said, John, you've been with me all week. You know I haven't got sleeping. You know I can't eat. You know I'm fucked up. You know why I did it, don't you? And he goes, but you should never have done that. Meanwhile, now the phone's ringing, right? Oh, I forgot to tell you something. I must have told 500 people all week, if anything happens to me, High Weiss had me killed.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'm done, and I want to make sure that they get the right guy, right? Yeah. So anyway, now my phone's ringing. And it's ringing, and I'm not. Why am I going to get the fucking phone? I'm going to be dead. Who the fuck wants to do business? I'm done, right? So it's ringing, and it's ringing, and it's fucking ringing, and it's ringing, and it's ringing, and it finally, after fucking at least 15 minutes, I said, "What the fuck kind of fucking asshole?" I go over and I go, "What?" I grabbed the phone off the wall. What? And it was the operator. Ready? I have a collect call from High Weiss. Now, up until that time, he always paid, right? But now it's a quick call. I said, I'll take it. He goes, do you understand me, motherfucker? You cocksucker! And he's running. And here he goes again. I said, oh, God, help me. He goes, listen, kid. Listen, calm down. I said, calm down. How about you, you dumb fuck? No, I didn't curse yet. I was still normal. So, I mean, not normal. I'm laying on the floor, bleeding. Anyway, he says to me, listen. So I said, that I can do. I'll send you $1,000. Give me your address. So he gives me the address. Now, meanwhile, hold on. There's a final ending to this. It's fucking classic. So he says, I said, I'll send it to you. Meanwhile, he didn't know this, but I had put another Solitaires record out on King Tut label. By a friend of mine gave it to me, and I didn't know which one he was chasing me for. I didn't know. I don't want him to come back to say, I'm back again. So I wrote on the check, I wrote on the 4, and I wrote both songs on it. In other words, I put, this is for the Old Town record and the King Tut record. Right? Figured, I mean, like, this guy isn't going to go with, what do you think he's going to, oh, okay, no problem. I didn't know about that one, so you're fine. That don't work with this animal. So anyway, I send the check for $1,000. I write on it, and I just said, here's the check as promised. Okay. Now, 2-3 days later, now, meanwhile, all these people are calling up telling me, hey, you motherfucker, I'm going to kill you. I said, who the fuck's this? He goes, High Weiss. I said, you dumb fuck. You don't even know what, you sound like shit. You got to get into it. Not this fucking pansy shit. So anyway, listen to this. So I get this phone call like 3 days later, and it's a real pleasant guy. And I said, hello. And he goes, records. So he goes, Val? And I said, yeah. He goes, High Weiss. And I says, oh my God, what the fuck? Are you crazy? High Weiss. How about this? Hey, you fucking asshole. That's High Weiss, not hi, how are you? I said, who the fuck is this? And he goes, it's High. He goes, I just got your check. I said, oh, it is you. I said, holy shit, what happened to you? Would you take a fucking laxative or some shit? And now I feel I can say anything now because I paid him, right?
Right.
So then here's what he says to me.
Yeah.
He says, listen, kid, I know a lot about you. I know you know your shit. Here's what I want to do. how would you like it? This is before CDs and all that. He says, how would you like me to do? I know you liked the shit I did, the group records. How about we put together a package of the best of the Earls? We can do, I got unreleased shit. We can do the Solitaires. We can do this. We can do that. We can do the Capris. You know, what do you think? I said, sounds great. He says, when do you want to get started? And I said, as soon as you send me back my $1,000. He hung the fuck up on me.
Yo, that's the best.
Now, guess what? So I went to a funeral. Wake? Holy shit, I don't think you are. Say something. You. Oh shit, you ain't there.
Yeah, we're
Hold
here.
on. Okay, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now you got it. I thought I shut you both up for
Yeah,
some
don't
reason.
move the phone. Just
I'm
keep the
sorry.
phone
I'm
in the
sorry.
one spot.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
moving. I'm done. I got you. All right. Anyway, that's my high wife story.
That's
And
fucking incredible.
and by the way, I would talk to him a lot. He would always call me. I liked him. And one time he called me up and he was asking me questions about somebody. And I said, wait a minute. Are you talking about this guy? And he goes, yeah. I says, that ain't the fucking guy. And I'm talking to him. And I said, you know what? You got to be the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived. The problem is he got Alzheimer's or that, whatever, where he couldn't fucking
Dementia.
think. Dementia. And
Yeah.
it was sad, but he forgot everything. So I would say to him like shit that I would never say. Hey, you stupid fuck. You didn't even know what the hell you was talking about. Now, watch it happen to me. I'll get it next week. But,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that.
Nah.
But I
You
had
would
a lot
have
of
got
fun
it
with
by
him.
now.
I liked the guy. I liked him.
Where are you at? Where are you at, Wax?
I'm right here.
Wax
Where
is
you at
tying
on
his
your
shoe.
where
Wax,
you at
So,
on your
so
shoe?
listen.
don't
there-
move, Wax. Don't move. That's what you've been saying to me all night. Go ahead.
There's
What?
one question left, but
Bullshit.
that
Bullshit.
story was
Which one? Go ahead. What?
the last one.
Yeah.
This is the very first time that I'm actually going to say this. 200 interviews.
What?
No more questions. This was fantastic. I want to save it. I don't want to lose what we have. My questions do not stack up to any of these stories. And again, this is the first time I've ever said anything like this. I want to save what we have.
Yeah, let's save it.
There's nothing else that I could ask you that would bring value to the body that is documented so far. So I'll leave it to Mike if Mike has another question. But
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm worried that when you go to save it, it's not going to save.
Good. Yeah, you probably weren't taping, you stupid fuck.
I was, motherfucker,
Okay,
in my
good.
mind.
My man.
In my mind.
All right.
it's gonna save.
By the way, who did we miss? Did anybody?
Let's go. We'll put it on part 2.
We'll do a part 2.
Oh,
We'll do a part 2.
Do it.
Yeah,
Did
man.
I get too?
Yeah, maybe try and save it, man. I think we'll be. I think we're gonna get fucked.
I want to just say thank you to everybody that's tuned in for the duration of this live stream interview. What a special night this has been so far. We're definitely going to try to do a part 2, but I am going to exit right now because I want to save this. This is gold. Mike, I'll talk to you later tonight.
All right. Much love.
Yeah. Shout out to Patty Shively.
Mike, you want Patty? You want me?
Support in real time.
Patty out here. Sit down for a minute. The Rock behind me, my Rock, but she don't want to be part of it. Oh God.
Uncle Val, it's so great to see you again.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Can you see me?
You look handsome as ever.
How about my cat? Come on. We're on there.
Hey, listen.
Honey.
Real quick.
That's better, right?
But I want to talk to Mrs. Shively for a
Go
second,
ahead,
too. The
sit
last
down.
time you and I
Hold
had
on,
a video call,
hold on.
the cat
Sit
scratched
down.
you in the face.
Here you go.
We can't have the cat as a +1 today, Val. I'm worried
here.
about you.
Okay. All right, how we doing? Is it looking okay?
Everything looks fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay.
What happened? Where's Patty Shively?
But you just thanked me.
I thought you were going to interview her.
Oh, no.
Here I am.
Done.
All right. Oh, God. Help me.
We got a question about Mrs. Shively. We do.
Hey, oh, whoa. Mrs. Shively.
It's
Really?
for you, though. It's going to be
Oh.
for you.
Oh, hit it.
Nori's in the building.
Oh, no. Remember him?
Oh, my gosh.
Honey?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah.
That's a reason to hang up. How you doing, buddy? I love you.
My
How you
God.
I
doing?
love you too.
Nothing.
What's
Nothing.
going down?
Nothing.
All right.
Val,
Anyway.
how's the weather today in
That's correct.
Upper Darby?
Cold. Very cold.
Okay.
Very cold.
Okay.
I was freezing all day. I think I'm getting sick.
Oh,
So
man.
that's good. I might have to do like 2 minutes and get off. No, I'll be all right. I'm good. All right. What's the story? What do you got? Questions?
So
No.
we got 15 on the line. If y'all are ready, I'll go ahead and kick things off. I want to welcome everybody to Mike Noriega Presents the Vault, Tales from the Crates of Soul Collectors. This is a really, really, really special live stream. This is a part 2 for our guest tonight, Val Shively of R&B Records. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Michael Noriega of Noriega Records. Now, we did a big intro for Val the very first time he joined us. And I want to keep things a little bit simple now. I got a story to tell. I always got stories to tell. For those that don't know, the very first time that I learned of Val Shively was simply shopping on eBay. I came across a record. I can't remember. I think it was Come Home Soon. And that led to a phone call because when the package came, it wasn't just the record. There was like 6 CDs. There was like a paper this thick with all this information on it. I said, who's Val Shively? I need to figure this out. We talked on the phone for the first time. I had this moment where I'm like, oh my gosh. I think I called Mike right away.
I'm still
I called Mike.
Yeah.
I said, Mike,
figure
do
it
you know
out.
who Val Shively is? And he laughed at me. So in all this time, now that I've gotten the chance to know Val, when I think of this brother right here, I think of a leader, I think of a mentor, I think of a friend, but it's the kindness that stands out in contrast to other record owners, right? To other collectors. I love my time getting a chance to talk with Val. And so when it came to a part 2, yeah, we talked about it last year, but I wanted the opportunity to connect with Val again. I wanted to see Mike and Val connect again. And most importantly, I wanted to document another conversation with Val for the community that loves his music so much. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Val Shively.
Hey, yo, I don't hear nothing.
So Val, let's take it back to 1968. Give us a lens into opening your very first record store, which was in a barber shop, if I'm not mistaken.
What the
Talk
hell?
to us about that experience.
I wasn't in no barber shop. That's where I get my hair done. I wasn't in no barber shop. I started out next door to a barber shop, but that was in 1964.
64.
64, when I got a job working in the record business. Okay, I was basically a driver. You know, there was no other employees. I was the guy's first employee, and I just, I would go to the airport every morning, pick up records. They were all coming from Miami, from Henry Stone. That's, I mean, he made.
I know Henry.
I know, great. Anyway, so we would pick up records. I would pick them up, bring him back to his apartment. He didn't have a building. He didn't have a store yet. He was worked out of his apartment. I would break them all down, Ray Charles, whatever. It's all black, basically. And then he would be upstairs on the phone with everybody, taking orders. And then he'd bring them down to me. I'm in the basement. And he'd say, pick these orders, and here's where you got to go. And my job was pick the orders, get in the car, and drive all over, basically North Philly. That's where I was going through all the records. So, I would have to get money, get paid and stuff, and come back. But I was always in the car. I put like 50 miles a day on the car. I mean, it felt like that anyway. If it wasn't, but my car was in the shop every week. It was an old car, and it was just like, he didn't do anything for that. So I was actually, losing money, but I was having fun. I loved it. I loved being around all that. And so I worked for him from 1964 to 72. And in 72, I fell out with them only because I went away. I went to Kentucky to see my mother. That's where my mom's from. And I took a guy from England with me. And I said, let's we'll run around down south and find some records. So we saw my mom. My dad was still alive then. And so then I said, my mother wants me to stay. I said, no. We're coming back, but we're doing records. My mother never got the records. So we went to Nashville, and I found, it was funny. It was like one of these things that, I don't even know how it happened. I was dealing with Current Music where I worked in Philly. So I'm in this record shop, and this young girl was in there, and somebody came in and asked for a record. Meanwhile, I brought the English guy, and he's in the back looking for 78s. And I hate 78s. Okay, let's go, man. Forget the 78s. Let me guess, Mike, you like 78s. Good, just checking. All right, so anyway, I said, yo, let's go. I don't want you to, let's go. So he's back there looking, and somebody came in the store and asked for a record. And she said, I never heard of it. So I said, oh, it's on Mercury or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. I just got a shipment from them. Hold on, it looks, and she makes the sale. So she says, how did you know that? I said, because that's what I do. In Philly, what you're doing here is what I do, on a wholesale basis. So she said, what are you doing here? Now we're talking. In the beginning, I was talking about artists because she said she knew Skeeter Davis. She knew Farron Young, all these people that I bought their records when I was a kid. I liked all kinds of music. And I'm talking to her about like people I really liked, country music. And so, and then she says to me, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I'm down here looking for records, but we like black, I like black records, soul records, or whatever you want to call them. And she says, listen, there's a second and a third floor above my head, but nobody's ever been up there. Never. And she said, I'll let you go up. But do me a favor, stay where the wood is. Otherwise, you're going to come right through the floor because you have to stay where there's walkways. Don't just walk. You'll come right through. So anyway, we go up there. And I said, how much you want for the record? She goes, I don't know. What do you want to pay? I said, how's a quarter? She said, do it. No, not when
Sounds like
you hear a quarter.
Bro.
Yep. Hello. So, so anyway, okay, you're right.
I'm at the floor. I'm at the floor.
So anyway, we go up there, and it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What year was it?
This is 1972 in the summer. The store was Buckley's Records. It was on, the hell's a main street in Nashville? I'm trying to think. I don't know. Can't think. But anyway, I should know it. It's a famous street. It's where everybody was. Ernest Tubb, XXX Records was there, on Third. That was Third and whatever that street is. What's wrong with me? I can't even think. So anyway, long story short, I got all these records, and she closes at 6, so she comes up to get us, and I said, oh, please, you can't. And she goes, I gotta go. I gotta get home. I don't have a job. I gotta get a bus. I said, we'll take you home. I promise. I'll feed you. I'll do anything, but don't leave. So you know what? She stayed, and we bought all these records and filled the whole car up. We put her on top of the records and said, tell us where you live, whatever. And we took her home. And that was one of the craziest things ever happened. And anyway, I had to come back to Philadelphia to work on a Monday. And so that was a Saturday. And I knew that, I have to get back and all this. And I didn't want to go back. For the first time in my life, I didn't want to go back to work because this thing, I only touched the surface of this thing. I mean, I could be there for a year. So anyway, long story short, I go back, and my boss, he's had it with me pretty much because, I mean, I ran the place, but I was getting more mail than him because I had these catalogs out, and I was working. I never slept. I worked for him till 6 o'clock, and I'd go out and get something to eat. I'd come back, and I'd work all night. I'd work till 3, 4 in the morning. I still had to be back there the next morning because that's when I did my thing, sending records out all over the place. I started doing that in 1966. That's when I started. But by 72, I was red hot with all this. I was, I was doing unbelievable. And I just was buying people's collections. I was, Sunday was the day I went wherever and bought people out and stuff. I was having fun. What was the most
what was the most money you could get for a 45 and
72. The high
72?
end for records was $100. That was it. $100. Yeah. And that's like,
that's
I had
crazy
people that used
money.
to come in and
It's
say,
crazy.
Val, here's $500. Pick me out 5 killer records. Pick
Well,
me out the rarest records you got.
Well,
And it was like dark on Apollo, red plastic,
well, that
stuff like that. All kinds of stuff that today is
yeah,
$5,000. Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks. The reason I say that is thanks to people like yourself and like Yaffe and you
Yep.
know, definitely Antrell and for sure
Yep.
you know, Barry Rich. I told you know, Villain today, I was like, you know what, I gotta ask Val, you know, does he know that between you four, I really feel that you guys are the like basically the villains that started Price
No, I
Guide.
know. I
I mean,
know.
even though you
Well,
didn't
I
start
was,
a Price Guide, but I mean, the only reason records are worth any money, especially group or soul records or any of this R&B and blues records, the only reason this stuff's worth anything is because when you guys wanted, or I know when Antrell wanted something, he'd go write a blank check and walk into the
I
guy's living room and just
know.
say, "You
No, you're
fill it
right.
out.
You're
I
right.
don't give a shit,
Well, I used
whatever
to
it is."
offer $100
Yeah, and
for
I mean,
anything I needed on the back of my list. On the back of the
on your list,
catalog, the most
yeah,
important part wasn't me selling
yeah,
records. It was what I wanted at the back. That was like the most important
yeah,
thing to me. And
yeah. Well, this
that
guy
was
doesn't
much
know about Jeff
later.
Kreider and
That
those
was much
books,
later.
and
And he does,
you know,
listen,
I know, but I'm just
I
saying
like Jeff.
that, but that's
Yeah.
where it
Yeah.
stemmed
No, you're
from is
right. You're
from
right. You're right. You're right.
you guys
Well, I
having
was,
those lists. Oh yeah, I mean, if somebody walked in my living room in 1975 and you know wrote a blank check and said, "Hey, you fill it out and let me know whatever it is that you want," the rumors are going to get around pretty quick that you guys are paying, you know, 100 or 200 or 500 for that matter in the 70s or 80s for these records. Well, I mean, Kreider's book, his
yeah,
first
right.
book is
Right.
like in the 80s, you know? And so, but think about it. You guys lit the fuse on the fire to get all these guys started. And anybody that made a fucking book, you know, that wanted to make money at this, heard those rumors or heard, oh yeah, Val Shively paid like $300 for that red plastic chance record and blah blah blah. And then the next
Right.
guy, well, Yaffe, I'll pay more, or Barry Rich, oh, if
Right.
you get it,
No,
I'll
no,
give you
you're
500. And then it
100%
just
right.
starts
It
to
was
become
always
a
like they were
market.
fighting against each other. Yeah. But
Yeah,
let me just say this.
yeah. And
If
I mean, you
records didn't
guys are
have value, if they had no value, if every record was worth
right.
$1 each, I would still collect records. I
Yeah,
think you three would. I mean, great. I'm sorry. There's only
of
two of
course.
you.
Yeah,
In other
because of
words,
the
you're
music.
about the
Yeah, we love
music.
the music.
You
You
know,
know.
a lot of these guys are trophy people. You know, look what I paid for this. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't want to go around like that. In other words, I don't want to spend that if I don't have to.
No.
But a lot of times I have to. So,
yeah,
I mean, I have most of what I want. There's
yeah.
very little that I
And
don't have.
the whole reason me and Miller were starting to do this Vinyl Life thing, which was a documentary. I mean, we got 300 hours of film. We got like at least 50 hours of interviews, and all this time we took to do this, and nothing ever came of it because we never could find an editor. But you know, all the film that we have, and I told him, you know, we've kept it harnessed, and we're trying to get new film going. I
I'll
would
do it.
really like to get you on film, you know, because then we're connected to a guy that's connected to Netflix, and you know, we get the right editor and the right, you know, the right setup on some on the story of, you know, we were basing it off of like kind of like you and Antrell and the whole, you know,
Well,
it'd be cool to do like a
they
movie. You
just
guys
did
could
a
do fucking
documentary on
10
me. Do you
movies
know
on your
that?
life.
Yes, last year.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah, I know.
They
I
did it.
know.
Yeah, it's not long, but it's good. But you know, I'm screening it. I've screened it 3 times in Philly. I'm not involved. I'm the subject, but I don't have anything to do with it as far as financing or
How
well, he
long
has
is
like
it? How
10
long
hours
is
of
it?
me yapping and telling stories, but it's a half hour long. But it's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
good stuff in it. It's
Oh,
got
okay.
like some customers.
Yeah, well, that's what it ends up being. You could have 2 or 300 hours after
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
edit it all down.
Well,
You know, you got a
this is
45
all I
minute
know.
movie.
It's funny. It keeps you going, and it's got Jerry Green in it. You know, the guy that started the time. I worked at Times Square when it all started. I
Oh
was,
wow.
yeah. I mean, and
Yeah,
he don't talk to anybody, but I got him to do it. So You know, I mean, listen,
Yeah.
it's all about having fun. I'm at my age. Most people that are my age, I'm about to turn 80 in a week or 2 weeks, and you know what? Most people are just waiting to die. They ain't doing nothing. But I'm still
Yeah.
running around doing records, having
Yeah.
fun. You know, I'm not doing much business anymore because it's all
Yeah.
changed. I mean, soul is red hot. What you
Yeah.
guys are into is king. Soul is
Yeah.
king. Honest.
Yeah.
King.
Well,
Yeah.
that was the whole
No,
reason for
good.
starting the label. You know, starting the label is because
No, that's
now I can
exactly
print my
right.
own money.
That's
You
good.
know?
I got a quick question I got to ask. We
Yeah.
talked about $100 records in the 70s. I feel like now, $100 doesn't even get you in the door sometimes if we're talking a good soul record that is clean, right? What was the
Yeah.
average price of a record in the 70s? What were people
Soul
used to
record?
playing? Because I'm
Soul
imagining.
records?
Yeah.
$2. No, I mean
Not
me.
even
I
that. Like
sold
probably
everything
a
for
quarter, man,
$2. I
50
try,
cents.
dollar is like, I don't even want to waste my time. But $2,
No, but even in the 90s, I was buying soul records for $2, $3, $4, $5. I mean, nobody wanted this shit in the 90s. If it was soul, they wanted Northern soul, and it was the Brits, and they were the ones under the table when we were on the top looking for the doo-wop.
You're right.
They were
You're right.
underneath the
You're
table
right. That
looking
whole
through the
What
little
made a record
breadcrumbs.
$100 though in the 70s though?
supply and demand. If there's
It was just
people that
something that
want it
someone was
and there ain't no
chasing.
copies, that's
Yeah.
how it works.
So,
If I'm sitting with
let me
100
follow up
copies,
with this.
if I
Let me
have
follow
100
up with this because
copies,
y'all didn't have the internet back then.
no,
There was no Discogs. There was no eBay. So
exactly.
how did you do it?
Word of mouth, and I put catalogs out.
Phone.
But I
Yeah.
stopped it. I stopped
They had
in the mid
a
70s. I had
catalog.
no time.
Yeah.
I got written up in the National Enquirer,
You remember
and that changed my life. I got like
the
millions.
first?
Hold on, I didn't get millions. I got maybe 500,000 letters wanting my catalog for nothing.
Yeah.
Because it said it in the National Enquirer. This guy makes millions of dollars selling records that nobody ever heard of. And I mean, I went nuts. I had to hire 8 people to open the mail.
Yeah.
Honest, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I look back on it. It was
'cause
fun. But I could never handle that now. But I just, a couple of things I wanted to tell you that you don't even know about. I just was up at, Greg. We talk about. You're very friendly with Greg Surik. You were. He died. He died a year or so
Talked
ago.
every day.
His records just landed. In other words, they were bought by a guy up in Milltown, New Jersey. Has a record shop.
Yeah, he died.
No, he died.
He only died about 4 months ago.
I didn't realize. Okay. Well, anyway, the records look like their lawyers got involved. He didn't have a will. It's a mess, and no family other than distant family.
I got written letters from Greg giving those records to my son, but you know what? That doesn't mean shit. 3 days before he died, we talked about it, and I said, "Look, Greg, if you don't have a will or a living trust, you got to get one right away because what's going to happen to your shit?" And you know what he told me? He said, "Look, I don't really care. Andrew, he's always gonna be the one that's gonna get him." I said, "No, he's not, man. Because when you die, you got no mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, whatever. He had a cousin, like a distant cousin that didn't even talk to the girl, and she pretty much handled whatever it was that was. I mean, I'm not in New Jersey. You're closer than me, but you know what? I already knew it was gonna get to where it got, and the people that got it, hey, you know what? Good for you. You scored, whatever. But the bottom line is that Greg gave all those records to my son 5 years ago or 8 years ago, whenever that, he got into it. And you know what? I'm not one of those people that's just going to go, try and open a court case and try and find
No. I know.
there. It's just, it's useless. But I mean, if you think about this, Val, this is a guy. I mean, I know your collection is amazing and his collection was amazing, but at the end of the day, all he cared about, eat, breathe, sleep, shit, everything was
have a
fucking
life
records,
besides
and that's
that.
the way he died. And
I know that, and you know what? He had a car accident. You probably know that. He was almost killed, and he got a new car a year before he died. You know how much mileage was on that car? In a year, 175.
Probably 100,000 miles.
It's insane. How can you do that in a year? Well, he could. Because all he ran,
that's all he cared about, man. Was the
somebody's got something in
record.
Montana.
Yeah,
I'll be there tomorrow night. That kind of shit.
Well, I'll talk about with Greg. I
I
forced him to
saw
make
it.
a
I
record
saw
with
it.
me
I
because I told him,
saw
I
it
go,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
one day you're gonna be dead and gone, and
It was
let's
the
get the
cat,
Thurrock,
wasn't it? The
let's get the
cacti or the
Thurrock label
relations?
out
The
there.
relations. That's it. That's
Yep,
it. That's it.
it. There it is. And the reason that if you look at the picture at the top,
Oh
what's that
yeah,
up
that's
there
what
on the
you
top?
call
That's
them.
the
I know.
weasel, because we used
Ah,
to call him
I
the
like it.
weasel.
I
Yeah,
saw it there. I have it in my holds.
yeah, man.
But the guy ain't giving nothing away. They got
Yeah,
the records. He's got all the books. He's got the computer, and he looks. He was there. I was there a
yeah.
week
Oh
ago, and the
yeah,
guy
of
was
course.
there right before me and paid 20 grand for one record, a soul record. You're gonna say what one? I don't know, because I
Wow.
wouldn't know it if you hit me over the head with it, because I
Yeah, I
don't
don't
know
know.
that shit.
Yeah,
His
he had a lot of.
soul
Greg had
stuff.
a lot of records. I mean, to me, he had the best soul
Listen, I'm
collection on the
telling you,
East Coast.
I went there
Nobody could
because he
touch
had
it.
records I need. I'm going to show you some of them. I brought, Don said, we want to see some records or something. So I got to show you some of that stuff I got. I've been up there a few times. I'm going back again after the new year. He doesn't want to see anybody. You have to do it
Yeah,
by appointment. And look, he'll have me there because I'm in the groups, and he'll have guys from England or whatever. They're coming there for Northern Soul. He has garage. He's got all kinds of music. He's got rockabilly. He's got
yeah.
unbelievable shit.
Greg, he probably had. I mean, not to lie, he probably had $4 or $5 million worth of records. I'm not even
Absolutely.
fucking around. Easy.
Absolutely. I think the guy
Oh yeah.
he's had the records about a month. I think he took him over $1 million in already. Because I mean, these
Oh,
guys are throwing
easy,
money around like I never
easy.
saw. I mean, they're just here. You want the record? It's $800. You want because he looks them all up. He's in this room. He's got all the soul books. He's got everything, and he's got the computer. And he'll go for the highest price he can ever get, and he's getting it. Nobody's saying I don't want to pay that.
Yeah.
He just says you don't want it. I don't. I'm not gonna.
Well, at least
I
the
know.
stuff didn't end up in a dumpster, because a
Of
lot
course.
of times when you die,
Of
that's what
course.
happens. The state's probably going to end up with his house, and then
Okay.
she's going to have to
Now
pay
you
probate
mentioned the
on it.
name. That was one of the reasons why these prices go up, 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 up. Peter Yaffe. Okay. His mom died
Yeah,
a
yeah.
week ago. You're not going to believe his story. You're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. You couldn't write this story. So I was very, very close to Peter. He used to call me every day. He does. He calls me all the time. A lot of it's sports. I don't like it. Sports means nothing to me. But
Yeah,
he's talking, about
I can't
football.
talk to I can't talk to him.
So anyway,
Yeah,
so I went up. I knew his mom and his brother. Jeff, I'm sure, right? Peter, Jeff. So
yeah,
Pat,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
you got
he
it.
wants a
It
copy, and
used to
Jeff
be.
gets a
Then he
copy.
dumped all Jeff's stuff. So anyway, we went up there last Wednesday. A week ago today, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. We drive to Boston, Patty and I, to be at that funeral for his mom. And it was unbelievable. The woman she was 94, and she was a buyer for Saks Fifth Avenue when she was young. She knew all the designers. She knew everybody. Her friends. I used to love this woman because she was insane. She's Jewish, and she's got Palestinian friends, Egyptian friends, Muslim friends. It's everybody, and she's flying everywhere all the time. Up until maybe 6 months before she died, and she's telling me guess what I did? I danced with Bob Marley. All this shit. I mean, she's just a trip. She's a live wire. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, we go to. I'm going to tell you this, and we'll get back to whatever you want to talk. This is like really bad news. So we go to the funeral. We're sitting there, and these women, young girls, and she had all kinds of people. She loved young people. She loved being around young people. So everybody was getting up there talking about how crazy she was and how wonderful she was. It was fascinating. But Peter and Jeff were not there. How can you not be at your mother's funeral? Now, I don't know if you know this, but Peter has a problem walking. He falls a lot now. He's have a problem with equilibrium and all. And if he falls, it takes 3 or 4 people to get him up. He's a big boy, dead weight. So
Yeah, he's
they
big.
call 911. When he falls, they have to call 911 and get somebody to pick him up, help him up. Now, so Jeff comes in halfway through the ceremony, whatever, and with this lady, and he's unkempt, he's shaved, his hair's flying, he's in street clothes, and he looks all screwed up. So he sits down, the service ends, they take the casket out, and now everybody from the front goes out first. I go out, I go up to Jeff, and I said, "Where the hell's Peter? What happened? Would he fall?" And he goes, "No, he burnt. He's in the hospital. He got burnt." Burnt? What's that mean, burnt? So then I look over, and Patty's talking to Judy. That's the woman who ran the business, and she's like part of the family. And Patty's crying. So I go over, "What's up?" She goes, "They don't want to tell Jeff, but Peter, the house blew up. They were getting dressed to go to the funeral. The whole house blew up. He was on fire, and they got him out, but they had to drag him out. Jeff got out, and what?
The whole house
burned down. The whole house burned down.
What?
No, the records.
All
everybody
the
thought that. Turns out that they went in the next morning. I said, you're going to hit it with a wrecking ball because the whole house was destroyed. We think it was a gas explosion because the way the door was blown off, the windows were blown off. It's insane. Anyway, to update it, I'm waiting for a call today. They went to see him in the hospital today. He's in the Mass General in the burn unit, which is one of the best in the country. They've operated him for days and days, and they can't even say he's going to make it. They said it'll be a miracle if he makes it. Is that unbelievable? So, I mean, here he is. He's going to go to his mother's funeral.
Two of them,
and he goes.
Two of the most major collectors. Yeah, two most major collectors. Well, I mean, Greg died 4 months ago. Now this guy, I mean, he's on
real bad. I mean,
bad.
It's sad. And Jeff, the brother, can't function on his own, and there's nobody else left. And I was on the phone with him last night for an hour, saying, "Jeff," he's here, "Val, I'm scared. I'm alone. I don't have anybody." I said, "You got me. You can call me. But listen," and I'm trying to make him. Very slow.
He's kind of slow. He's kind of slow, right?
And he just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to. He might not make it. He might not make it. I'm telling you, it's the worst scenario I could ever tell you. So anyway, you got to pray for him. I don't know. I could get a call right now that he didn't make it because I'm going to hear from them tonight. Before and if I don't hear from him, I'll call. But it's really, I mean, that's really screwed up. That's really, really bad. Horrible. Can't write that stuff. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I'm telling you that because you mentioned
for
Peter,
sure.
and I really didn't put it out there. But you got that. You got the snakes already going. Well, where the records at? Who's got the records?
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, where's the records? They don't give a shit about nobody. Where's the records?
That's what my son said. He goes, the only way you're gonna get those records, Dad, is you got to get on a plane right now, and you got to go squat in that house, and you got to get them.
Couldn't get in. They had cops out there going around and around and around. Yeah.
Yeah, you know why? Because it was a murder until it wasn't a murder. Yeah. That's what I talked to the cops. The cops the day he died, I talked to the cops, or the next day, and they said, if you go in there, you're a murder suspect because right now we haven't pronounced the cause of death. We don't know what the cause of death is. I mean, they found out later it was natural, but if I go past the yellow tape, then I risk being investigated.
Well, people were calling me up asking me for his address.
The way I look at it is,
I said, yeah, right. I hang up on him. It's like,
well, his address is right there on the
sure, you can find out anything you want about anybody on that thing.
Yeah. It's right there on Google. But you know what? The whole thing is that, how far do you want to go with it?
No, you're right. You know what? It's all about life. It's about people. It's not about the records. The records is how I meet people. I know you guys because of music. I cherry pick who I want in my life.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So, I mean, look, music is very important to me. I love this stuff. However, it's not everything. Because if it is, I mean, it's still, I'm going to die. When I die, it ain't going with me. Yeah. So, look at Greg.
No.
Look at Peter. I mean,
I mean, he died. Greg died the way he wanted to die. But you know what? It could have just been so much better. Especially I didn't know. I mean, a lot of things came out about his health, later, and he
I know that.
He walked 7 miles a day, Yeah, so he talked about it a little bit, but you know what? He was hiding things that he wasn't telling me. I guess he thought
Yeah.
walking was gonna fix his problem, and it didn't. You know, like. But the bottom line is that you know he had nothing, and he died the way he wanted to. But you know, I don't think it's kosher. You know, like the way he went out. It's just
Yeah,
like
I
it's such
know.
a
I
tragic
know.
thing. You know,
Yeah.
it
All right.
fucked me up.
Let's turn the page. Let's
Go
turn
ahead.
the
Well,
page.
give me another. Give me another
Yeah.
question,
Got
there,
a little
Wax Willa.
sunshine. I'm gonna bring some sunshine back to this. Val, in the 50 plus years doing this, what are some of the most memorable stories, experiences you've had at R&B Records? You know, you've sold records to famous musicians, collectors. What can you share with us? What really stands out to you?
Well, I mean, it's a sideshow. You never know what you're going to get. I have, I mean, I don't. First of all, they don't come in anymore. People have shop online. This is them now doing their shit on the. Nobody comes out anymore unless you're old. Okay, and everybody I dealt with is basically not here anymore. Or if they are, they're not in a position to buy this, or they can't get up to play the damn records. So after a while, it's like, what am I doing with this shit? So, I don't know. I mean, I've dealt with, George Carlin came in one day. This is funny. He calls up and he said, I didn't even know who, I know who George Carlin is. Most everybody does, I guess. But the guy calls up and he goes, do you know who the Vocaliers are? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you have records by them? I said, yeah. And he goes, do you have anything by the Solitaires? I said, that's my shit. That's the stuff I love. He goes, I'll be right there. I said, all right. And so it comes up, a limo pulls up, and it was at the Tower Theater, which is like 3 blocks from my store. He just wanted to look at records or see records, and he was amazing. I mean, just down to earth, really nice guy, funny guy. So I mean, he wasn't funny. I apologize, not funny.
Yeah.
Just a regular guy. His shtick was, brilliant guy. A comedian and all. But that's the kind of guys that are into this. Questlove, which
What about Elton John?
No, that's Rosen got him. Poor bastard is probably bankrupt today. You hear me? Rosen got him. Do you know how he
Rosen got him?
This is great. He's in He's in
No.
a casino one night. This is Rosen having dinner, and the guy, somebody comes. Yo, you know that?
Did he bring his little
Tell that again. We told that in the last show. How you get a free meal? You take a roach with you. You finish the meal and you put it on the plate, and then you call the manager. Yeah, he still does it. So anyway, he's sitting there. This is Richie. I can't believe we're talking about Richie. But this is it. So he's sitting there having dinner with his wife, and somebody comes over and is talking to him. He goes, "Hey, you see that guy over there at the bar?" He goes, "Yeah, what about him?" He goes, "That's Elton John's driver." He goes, "Get him over here. Get him over here right now. Here, I'll give you $100. Get him over here." Gives him $100. He comes over and he goes, "Listen, you're Elton John's driver?" "Yeah." "Well, I want you to bring him to my record shop. Here's my card, and I'll take care of you. Take care of you. Really." This is probably,
What
I
year
don't
is
know,
this?
5 years ago, maybe. Ain't that long ago. Next thing you know, here comes Elton. And Richie shuts the place down, and he's, "What do you want?" And he's selling them albums, and, $10 albums or 50, that kind of shit. And the guy sees, he's got money. He don't, what else you got that's good? And you say that to Richie, you're dead. So anyway, that's what he's shipping them. I mean, he's not taking them out with him. He goes, put them in a container and send them over. So I mean, he
Yeah, I don't think he's got enough records.
No, I know,
to
but he
bankrupt
did
Elton John.
sell them tons of shit. So I mean, that's it.
Wow.
He's got paid, had him at the house and all that shit. So whatever. I don't know if he does it anymore. I think Elton woke up one day and said, what am I doing with this fucking guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
What about strange requests, right? Is there anything that stands out about a strange encounter with a record collector, or maybe they were asking for something?
I mean, I could sit here till tomorrow night and tell you crazy stories. Like, I love things like, I'm a comedian in really, because I like to make people laugh and shit. And so I take doing business very, very serious.
Yeah.
But I don't take. But as far as getting orders out and all that shit, I'm real good at that. I try to get them all out the same day. but I love to play with people, and every once in a while, so here's a story. Here's another Rosen story.
Yeah.
So there was an album once that I had the cover to it. I don't know. I get shit thrown at me and thrown. I never throw anything away. It was a guy in a, what do you call it? He had a towel around him, right? And it said, it was called, "Let me tell you about my operation." And it's this famous person. I don't know. I'm not into that shit. He was probably the first transgender. He had his parts removed or some shit. Anyway, it tells you the whole story on the back of the album, right? But the cover is he's got a towel wrapped around him. And I had that thing for years, just hanging up on the wall. I don't have the album for it, but here's a sick bastard. This is as good, this is as crazy as you get. So Rosen, one day he said, if you ever get anybody that wants something and you don't have it, call me, because I got unbelievable shit. So I say to him, I just had a fucking guy come in here today, and I look at the album, I go, do you know something like this? Here's what happened to me. It's guys in a towel. And he goes, I got that fucking album. I got that album. I said, the guy just offered me $1,000 for it. He goes, you're kidding. Holy shit. I'll be right. Listen, I'll call you right back. I know it's in the basement. I'll call you right back. Call you right back. So he calls back 3 hours later. He goes, I got it. I said, the fucking guy left. He goes, you get his name? I said, no. Yeah, that's shit. So,
Good setup.
I mean, whatever. So, dealing with the public is insane. I mean, it can be funny. It can be not funny. But, there's so many stories. Honestly, I don't even know where to start except to tell you that, people come in. I always tell people this, that when it comes to music, there are no rules, because here's an example. I'm making this up, but it could happen. I mean, this is the kind of shit that went on. So here comes a guy in my store with a 3-piece suit at the shake cake, coming home from work, and he goes, listen, I called up earlier. I want My Girl Awaits Me by the Castells on Grand. So I go, yeah, whatever. And I gave him options, you want this, you want that, you want a reissue, you want it, whatever. And so the guy buys the record. Let's say he paid $100 for it. Maybe it was on Grand, So, exactly. So here's what, but 2 hours later, here comes a junkie in with a needle stuck in his arm, and he's all fucked up. You don't know who he is, but he goes, you got the Castells, My Girl Awaits Me? Yeah. So, I mean, look at the two people, the two walks of life, and they both want the same record. And that's always fascinating to me, that, it's just, you never know. Music's interesting. And I also get black people to come in for white records. And I always like that one. I play with them. What are you, nuts? What happened to you? They drop you? Or some shit when you were young. So, but they love, music is music. It's white people buy black. They buy.
Yeah. I told my
there is no
customers,
color to
music's
music.
not a
You're
color,
100%.
man. It's a sound. It's a sound, and you got to understand that there's no race, there's no color, it's just, I got death metal rocker guys that walk in the store and they want Pointer Sister.
Doesn't matter. I got the same thing. They come into me and they want shit. I mean, it's like, everybody wants rock albums.
Guys tattoos on their eyes and teardrops and tattoos on their face. Yeah, and they want Bee Gees. Give me the Bee Gees.
Well, I like the Bee Gees. I like some of their shit, believe it or not. They do. The Atco stuff.
Yeah,
so
why
I
not?
think they're talented. Yeah. But I don't, I'm not telling everybody. Now I am. But just don't erase that. No. Leave it in. So anyway.
Go ahead.
So I giving you examples. I don't know. I just all kinds of shit. I get the Tower Theater used to have all these rock acts, and they wander. The show starts at 6, and they get there at 3. They do their sound check, and then they look for a record shop or something.
Yeah. And
they end up with me. And and then I know a funny story. This is funny. I mean, this was okay. No. Oh, I got one. So this is maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Hey,
No.
forgiven.
or
You're
fuck.
fucking 90.
No,
I know.
listen,
You're
no.
forgiven.
Anyway, if 90, I won't be here. Trust me. I'd
Don't
like
say
to be
that.
here. You never know.
Oh no.
All right, that's
You're
good.
at
So
fucking
anyway,
200, man.
so here's what happens. So these
'Cause you're an
kids are in. I mean, I
alien.
let people in. Everybody thinks I throw everybody out. It doesn't. You know, I don't do that. But you have to know what you want or whatever, and it depends what kind of mood I'm in. So anyway, this guy comes in one day, and I don't know who he is, and he brings a guy with him, and he says, Can I videotape my guy in here? You know, he's going to be looking at records. He's about, can I do anything you want? I don't give a shit. So he's videotaping him, looking at records and all. And, you know, I don't know if he's even going to buy anything. It doesn't matter. So these girls are in there, and I let them in, and they're wandering around looking at shit. And you know, I'm not paying attention to anybody, to be honest with you. I'm working. So anyway, here's what happens. The guy comes up at the end, and he tells me, here's the deal. He said, by the way, I'm looking at something. Look, what's up, Val? It's Max from Brewerytown Beats. You don't know him, do you?
Of course
I
we
love
know.
this guy. You know him? You know
We
him?
know.
I love him.
Max.
I
Yeah, we
love
know.
him. He's in my
Yeah, we
he's
know
in
Max.
my documentary.
We know Max for sure.
No, okay,
Yeah,
because he just wrote
we know
down.
Max
Seeing
for
the
sure.
comment come up on the screen.
Yeah, we had him out here in
Oh,
California.
okay.
He brought the
Yeah.
Ultimates out.
That's his. Now
And
he's
the
got a new
Neurons.
guy. You know
Yeah,
the
the
guy he's
Neurons,
got
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
It's the brother of one of the guide tones.
I saw
No.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
anyway,
Yeah, the guy
so
tones.
where am I? Oh, I know. This is. I just think this is funny. But so the guy tells me who he is. He's got a hit record out, and you know, and he says I'm in town. I'm on South Street. You know, I'm playing at a club tonight or something. So I told you
Mayor
the story,
Hawthorne.
didn't I? How'd you know
Why'd
that?
you do that?
Nope.
You ruined my story.
I'm just guessing. You never told me the story.
That's
You
exactly.
never told me the story. I'm
So
just
here's what
guessing. Mayor
happens.
Hawthorne.
These girls come up at the end. They left. They
I'm just
left.
guessing.
So now these girls have come out. They want to buy some shit. And I said, you know who that was that just left? Because they're young. They will know who he is. I don't know who he is. I said, that was Mayor Hawthorne. She goes, you're kidding me. Oh, my God, why didn't you say something? I said, because I didn't know who the fuck he was. You know, so anyway, she said, oh, we wanted to go see him, but it's sold out. It's sold out. I can't get in. So I said, you want to go? And she says, yeah. I said, hold on. And I take a piece of paper and I write, let these two girls in. They were with Mayor all day today. Didn't get a chance to talk to him. And please let them in. And I stamped my thing, Val Shively. They don't know who I am. Nobody in this town knows who I am. I stamped the thing and I said approved and whatever and blah, blah, blah. I just stamped the shit. And so, listen, so they leave. And so they called me back on a Monday and they said, you'll never believe this. We went down there. We went to the box office and they said, sold out. Can't get in. And they said, well, what about this? And she reads the thing and she goes, what the hell is this shit? You know, let these two in, you know, and, you know, whatever, stamped it and all, you know, approved by Val or some bullshit. And so, ready? She says, I don't know what this is. It doesn't make sense. Go show it to the guy at the door. You know, let you know, it don't mean shit to me. I don't know this guy. I don't know anything about this. He goes to the door. He goes, the hell's this shit? Go ahead in. So the both of them went in and they said they had a great time. And I don't think they met him there, but they called me on a Monday and they said they framed it because it was so funny. They gave it back to her. They gave it back. So they said, got us in. You got us in the damn show because of not because of me, but it was just, the whole thing was just funny.
That's a great story. That's a great story.
I don't know how great it was, but it worked. So
it was awesome.
I got better stories than
Spoiled
that.
it, but that's okay.
No,
Wow.
you never
good
told me
guess.
that story. I just guessed.
So-
So Val, I
What?
got to ask you this. Last time you showed us a grip of records, I would love for you to take another opportunity to have some show and tell with us. What do you have for us today?
Okay, I went upstairs before I came on this, and I grabbed a pile of records. A lot of these things are from Greg. Okay, Greg's stuff that I didn't have.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's one. Now this came from Antrell. He got it from Jay Monroe, another guy who died. Everybody's dying. Honest, everybody's dying. There ain't nobody gonna be left soon. All right, this is, you ready? Here.
I get it.
Hold on. I just dropped the sleeve. Okay. This is the only known copy of this record. Dave had it, and Jay bought it off him, and now Greg bought it from him. But everybody's dying.
Yeah, I know what I know what it is.
Because I got it now. In other words, what? It's on
Is it the
checker.
Sun record?
How do I do this? I look at it like, oh, here.
Hold it
Did
up.
you get that? Did you
Higher,
get the Sun?
higher.
Okay.
Here.
Hold on.
There it is.
Okay, can you read that? Not really.
Okay.
Yes. Is it backwards?
It's backwards.
So what do I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Yeah, it's gonna be reversed.
the
It's gonna be
sonnets.
reversed.
Bill Hall and the sonnets on checker. Three
Oh, okay,
wishes.
Bill
I never even
Yeah.
sold a record. I don't even know why it's so rare because it's not. It's they were making 45s like crazy. So that's a great record. And it's a really
Yeah.
good. It's a really good record.
Well, you know what?
What?
You know what probably happened is, is that somebody in publishing or somebody in the writer one of the writers said, you know what, you're not going to put that fucking record out, and they shit canned it all.
Very possible. Or they gave somebody gave him a
you
hard
know.
time. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
What year is that from?
that
Yeah.
record is from 58.
Oh.
So it's late.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna say
late. It's late.
58,
Hey,
yeah.
here's a record that
Yeah.
I bought off of Greg, and it was beat to shit. But now I got a good one. Now this probably almost is what you guys like. This is a cover version of What Time Is It? No,
But you bought it
no.
off the kid, or
I
you
bought
bought it
the
off of
original
Greg?
one I had, which was, screwed up. I paid him $100, $200 for it or something because it was really a good
Right.
record, but it was beat. But now I got Greg's record, so now I'm going to sell mine to somebody.
Right.
But here it is. This is great. This is a cover of the Jive 5. What Time Is It? It's by the Young Temptations, right? The Young Temptations on. Back it up.
Back
Back
it
it
up
up. Okay.
a little bit.
You're going to teach
Back it
me
up a
how to
little
do this yet.
Yeah, right there.
Here,
right
how's
there.
that?
Yeah, you're
Got
good.
it?
You're good.
I know you didn't. Because
No, I've
nobody
never
ever
seen it.
saw it. This record's
It's
rare.
on
And
Lulu?
it's good. And it's the Young
Yeah, I've never
Temptations
seen
or
it.
whatever thing they call them. Yeah. So, I mean, it's your world. Now, I got a record here that I was looking for that comes out of Chicago.
Love
that
Chicago.
here- listen to this. I heard this record once, and I went, Robert Stallworth. Do you know who he is? Stallworth gave me this record. It was hammered.
Yeah.
Beat the shit. But I
was
love it. You know, he's
at
in
his
Vegas,
house a
or he's
few
in
months ago.
Pahrump, actually. I love him. I just talked to him today.
Yeah, he's in Pahrump. He's the
I don't know if
mayor
that's
of
good or
Pahrump.
bad.
You know, you know why? Because there's only 200
who
people
else
in
lives in
Pahrump.
Pahrump?
He's the only guy to take the
You know who
fucking
else
job.
moved there? Terry from the Terry Johnson from the Flamingos. He lives there now. Yeah, he's here.
Oh.
So I guess
Oh,
you're
okay.
close enough to Vegas if you want to work still. Okay. So
Yeah,
I've
I'll go
been
every time I go to
trying to
Vegas, I'll
get
go to his house.
this record, which I'm going to show you in a second, because it's really a soul record. It's a soul record. However, there's a running bass on this record that blows me. It makes it for me.
Oh,
They got
okay.
this bass guy going crazy. It's like the Marvellos on ABC. Okay, the Marvellos on ABC. You know, in the
Yeah.
morning, and I like the
I
flip
got you.
side of the big one they had.
I'm with
I
that.
just
I'm
got
with that
there.
girl.
I love
Yeah.
them.
Okay, well this is like that. This is great. This is a killer. You ready? Here. You know that record?
Oh yeah.
I'll bet you don't.
Yeah.
Have you really?
That's
I've
about
seen
it.
Well,
Yeah, I've seen it.
this record is
There's a lot of
great. This
there's a
record's
lot of
great.
good records
And
on that label.
so
Val.
John Anderson,
Yeah, it's total
I was
Chicago.
talking to him one day, and he says, I said, you go to Chicago all the time. Did you ever see this record? I want this record bad. He said, I just sold to a Japanese guy for $500. I said, I'll give you $1,000 and then get it back from him. He said, he ain't gonna sell it back to me. I'll try to find you one. So I got it. Greg had it. I got it from him. That was nice.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I got
You got it
that
from Greg or
from
that
the
guy?
guy, not Greg. Greg's records. I got to,
Oh.
Greg ain't selling
Right.
much of anything these days. Not funny. Okay.
Oh.
Here, hold on. So here's a soul record, sort of. This is interesting. This is from the South, probably Tennessee. This is called Small Town Girl by the Rounders. Do you know that record? Do you really? Huh?
Yeah, Jimmy Tidd.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jimmy
yeah,
Tidd.
right. It's
that's the first
also on
label.
another label. It came out on Spar. You're
Yeah, it's
good. You're good.
It's on Spar.
You're good. Okay, just check.
Well, you
Roll
taught
call
me,
motherfucker. Patty. Call me a dirty name. All right. Here's a story. You ready? Here's the kind of crazy shit
Right.
that goes on. I just got this. This is a record. Here, I'm going to show you this record, but I'll tell you the story first. So there's in Bermuda, there was a guy who used to record groups, all kinds of shit. Probably not things I like, but this one particular record on there is by the Golden Tones on Edmar. That was a guy who lived there, and he ended up moving to Canada, and he was still putting out records, but he put out records in. They were pressed in America probably, but the guy lived in Bermuda. Okay, so I didn't know this record, and Greg turned me on to it. He had it, and he said, "It's impossible. You know, if you ever get, it's going. If I ever get another copy, I want $5,000 for it." So, you know, I said, "Well, see if you can get me one." I didn't even know what the record was. So then he turns around one day and he calls me and he says, "I got it. I got the record. I want you to get me a record. I don't want to get money. I don't want money. I want you to buy me. I want you to get me a record." And it's the Endorsers on Moon he wants. You know the record? Very, very valuable. So I know the guy who put the record out. And he lives in North Jersey. He's old. He's in his 80s now. But he has, I know him. He called me one day and, you know, he has copies. He doesn't have a lot. He might have one. So I called him and he said, "That's a very valuable record." And usually the owners don't know that shit, but this guy did. And so he said, "If you want it, I want $3,000 for it." So I said, "How many do you have?" And he said, "Just the one." So I said, "I'll give you $3,000. I bought the record and I give it to Greg. He picked it up from the guy. I told him where he lived. I gave him the money. He went over and bought the record, and he gives me the Golden Tones thing, right? And then he tells me this. This is the record thing. You know, he said, "Don't ever tell this, Val," but he's gone, so I can tell it. You ready? He says, "You know where I got this copy I just gave you? I got it from Southside Johnny for $10. He goes, "But don't ever tell him because he'll kill me." You know, because it cost me a shitload of money because I had to pay $3,000 for that other record. So I really got three into that. But Greg had it when I went there, so now I have two. So you want to buy the record? I'll sell it to you for $4,000. I didn't think you wanted it. What's the next? Oh, here, you want to see another record? Everybody I know is dying.
Hey, wait. I'm thinking
All
about
I do is
it.
get phone calls. No, don't. No.
I'm thinking about it. Wait, I'm almost dead. Hold on.
All right, listen. Give up. Here you go. Here's a pretty record.
I mean, I got friends in their 40s.
I'm telling you that this. I don't think.
Hey, 52 is a lot. And wait. In 2023,
Guess
50
what?
is a long
a gang
life.
you run with. They got needles in both arms. Listen. Here, this is from Philly. Ready? Pretty record. Not a great record, but it's pretty looking. Kitty record. You ready? You know that record? Dear Ruth by the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
like
Dear Ruth.
Pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, the Buccaneers. That's big.
No.
What was that?
No. This is somebody
Greg
just
had?
died.
Or that's your own?
Somebody. Excuse me. This is somebody else that just died. Everybody's fucking dead. Why don't we just talk about everybody's dead? Because they are. What? So anyway, I got this.
Yeah.
A widow called me up and said, "Val, my husband died 5 years ago, and you know I have all these records, and you sold him these records."
That's got to be. That's got to be more than $5,000.
$5,000. That's what I want. I got a guy who offered me $3,000, and I said,
"Yeah, because
that's a double.
That's a double for you." I know it is.
No, I wouldn't sell anything.
You would ever sell that record
unless it's a double. All right, hold on. Let me find something interesting.
What about the Prisoners?
Yeah, the Prisoners. He paid $10,000 for that.
No, but the guy.
I know. It's gone. It's the first record that went. Nope. 10.
20 grand.
He called me up and he said, "Val, will you pay 10 for this record?" I said, "I have the record, but I don't. My copy isn't great. But you know what? If I got to give you 10 to upgrade it, I can't do that. That's gets nuts. I can't get that. There's nobody out there that's going to give me. That's going to buy that record.
You know, if you think about it though, you're Val Shedley. I mean,
Val,
it's 10,000.
Don't pay attention to him, will you? What?
I got to ask you this question. So For me, like when I'm looking at records, right, and,
Yeah.
and they're getting up in price there, I need clean labels. I need to have two sides. I can't just love one of them.
Okay.
You talked about not reaching, not stretching for that. What has been your threshold? Has there been a threshold as a collector when you're like, sorry, I can't do it? Like, is there any criteria?
I have never, between you and me and whoever's listening, which is about 10 people, listen, I never said no. I have to get it. I'm a bad card player. I can't fake it. So what happens is, I had a guy come to me one day. Listen to this. Here's what you asked for stories. Here's one. Every time you say something, I'll think of something. So one Saturday, this guy called me up first and he said, I got this record, and he goes, I want a lot of money for it. That's how they start out with me. I want a lot of money. So I said, what is it? He says, it's the soft tones on CB. You know that record? You've heard of it? No. It's rare. There's only one or two known copies. And it's insane. It's so good. So that's a New York record. So here's what he comes down. He goes, I'll be there. No. You got good records from out there.
Buddy.
You got the Spitfire record, the
We got a couple.
Velveteers. That's as good as it gets. Oh,
We got
the one. How
the
about the one
photo
I
play.
got that nobody has? The Heartburners. I got the only known copy of that record. So
the Harper.
anyway, so here's what happens. The guy comes in. It's in a bag, like a lunch bag. No sleeve on the record. The guy said he's a cop. I don't know if he's a cop or not, but a Keystone cop maybe. The guy. So he's got this in a lunch bag, and he goes, "Here's the record." And a guy brought it down in a lunch bag.
In a lunch bag?
No.
Does it have a sleeve?
No, didn't even put a sleeve on it. So he goes. So I said, I look at it. It's got a mild warp in it. Okay. So he said, I said, look at it. I said, the record's warped. He goes, I don't give a shit. You know, that's what I want. I want $6,000 for this record. I said, you're out of your mind. Who in the world would give you $6,000 for this record? Right? Yeah, you're right. So here's what happens. I go, he goes, play the record, which I never heard the record. I put the record on. I go, holy shit. I mean, it's a minute I put the needle on it, I'm in trouble. Right? So I take it off. And the guy goes, play the record. I said, I heard enough. And so he goes, listen, let's talk about this warp. I'm trying to get him off of that sound and back to the warp. And he ain't buying it. So finally, I think I got it. I got it. I said, I'm not going to do it because look at it. I'm always going to want another copy. This is insane. What's that? What's this? What are you doing?
$3,000.
No, that's what I tried. I had to pay $5 for it. So listen, here's the best part. So the guy that came down with him, he says, now it's my turn. I said, for what? And he said, I brought him here. I didn't bring him here for nothing. I said, well, what do you want? He goes, I want $1,000. I said, back to $6 again. He said, I want $1,000 worth of albums. And I don't want shit. I want good stuff. So I said, like what? He goes, and he was looking at albums while I was doing this deal. He goes, I want all these albums. I said, oh, come on. Come on, what are you doing? Who else is in the car? This is like ridiculous. So, you know what? I just said, I'll do it on one condition. Don't ever tell anybody you made this deal with me. Please. I'll never live it down. So, I mean, that's the kind of shit. So I ended up giving them what they wanted. So, you know, but you know, he just asked me, isn't there a limit? There is a limit. There is a limit. I just, you know, there's only a few records that I don't even know what I need anymore because you ready for this? I got 100 records at least from that guy. Honest. But I didn't have 100 at least. I get one or two a year. Yeah, from the guy with Greg's records. Greg had 100 records I didn't have. No, they're not great records. I mean, they're great, but here's what he had. Gospel. I love gospel. 50s gospel. He had unknown shit I never even heard of. It was great. Did he really?
Yeah, he got a lot of them from me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
listen. Yep. A lot of them.
Yeah, well, these are
on your
things
list.
that, you know, I know, but I had the things on my list. It's just that these are things that I never even saw before. And, you know, he had, you know, I knew he had gospel, but I didn't know he had that kind of gospel. So he had whatever he got into, he overdid it. I mean, it's like he runs labels. I didn't know that. I don't get people that run labels. I mean, I can understand you running Yeah, he ran them all. He ran all the labels. The guy has, you know how many records are in that place? At least 150,000. I mean, you know what they're in? Boxes, and it says kitchen. It says garage. It says basement. It says, you know, bedroom. They're all third floor. The whole house was records. I never was there. After his parents died, it became a warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I can imagine. Well, his mom wouldn't tolerate having all that shit, and then when she passed,
of course,
it just
it
became Greg's.
Well, you were in his
search.
house, huh? Okay, I never went. I never, you know. I mean, whatever.
I was one of the few people that he let in.
Right.
You know, I was there in the I was there when I went to your house. So was that 90, 97 or 98, whatever it was.
Wow.
So what?
So Val Shively gets me a hotel for my boss, and we go to this fucking hotel.
Wait a minute, you want to save money, right? You want to buy records or you want a nice hotel? Which one? Both.
I mean, bro, the mattress, there was a murder, bro. The mattress was. He only did that because he wanted to fuck over my boss.
Yeah, I know.
But he didn't think about poor little Mikey. He's like, fuck.
How about,
bro, pull chain bathroom.
You put your hand in there and make the thing come up.
I mean, what the fuck?
What?
Bro, fucking.
That's another place.
Disease.
No, that was a different place. The Legionnaires was another place.
Good thing it was cold. I would have died.
That's in town. So, somehow you're still here and you're still doing this shit. You know, well, I don't know if it's me, but guess what? I know I inspire people to do this. You know why? Because I'm nobody special. I just found something I loved. And you know what? I let people know you can do this. Anybody can do this. It's nice to be honest, but you know, you can get away with this. I got interviewed one time by this guy, and he says, why do people even buy from you? Because I hear all these stories, you throw them out, you do this. I said, let me just tell you something. This is, by the way, this story is before the internet, before this shit came along. Okay? What happened to him? He fell off the chair. Where is he? Oh, there you are. So listen, here's the deal. Guy says to me, interviewing me, and he goes, how do you do this? Why would anybody come in here? I said, because I got records they don't have. I said, let me just tell you something. I could sit there. I told him this. He couldn't believe this. He was a writer for the paper. I said, I don't think you can write this, but I don't care if you do. I said, I could sit here and spoon shit at you, hit you in the face with spoon of shit. Boom, boom. They'll still stay here because I got what they want. In other words, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
They'll do anything for records. You know why I'm good at that? Right. Because I'm the same as them. Do you understand? I mean, listen, you can treat me like, I've been to places where they treat me so bad, but I still stay there because I got to get to those records. I had a lady, here's a good one.
Yeah.
So there's this lady, I heard about this woman in Harrisburg, a black lady who had a record. It's Martha's Turntable. This was in the 80s. So she had all black. She had great records. She had a basement. She had all kinds of shit. And nobody goes in there. And she hates white people. Okay, she hates, that's what I'm told. She hates white people. So I said, does she like green money? She hates white people. It doesn't matter about the money. She hates white people. So I go, what have I got to lose? I got, what's she going to do? Throw me out? Big deal. So I drive up there. What?
You're not white.
Oh, thank you.
You're not white.
Thank you. What a compliment. So listen, I drive up there. I walk in, and I said, this guy in Pittsburgh told me about you, and I'm looking for records. I said, I want to buy a lot of records. And she's looking at me like, I don't even care. She's like looking at me, how soon is this going to be over, more or less. So I said, oh, and then, by the way, there's a sign on the wall. Ready? All records are $1 each. Okay? Now, so she says to me, before we even get started, she said, all the records are $3 each. And I could have said, hello, up there. But I knew not to do that.
Don't do it.
So, they're $3 each. I'm still here. So she said, at the time I was really, really into gospel. Then I knew, I saw pictures all over. She's got all these gospel groups hanging up pictures of them and all. And I know she's into gospel, so I figured shit's going to be in there. So I said, can I come back behind the counter? Absolutely not. I said, well, how the hell am I going to buy? She goes, tell me what you want. I said, well, can I see VJ? Can I see VJ? And she says, yeah, what do you want on VJ? I said, well, can I look at it? She goes, tell me what you want on VJ. So I said, I want, I don't know, the harmonizing 4 or so. I'm just trying to break the ice. And she says, here, which one? I says, can I just see what you got? And she says, and she shows me a few. I said, I don't want the black label ones. I want the brown label ones. She says, what's the difference? I said, I want the older ones. They're brown. I don't want the black ones. They're newer. And she's giving me a hard time. What the hell's the difference in all this shit? I said, wait. So I'm starting over again. And finally, you know, I'm not getting anywhere. Everything I'm saying, she's giving me a hard time with. Everything. And then she says, I said, what about Gotham? Gotham label from Philadelphia. And she says, what do you want? And I said, name something. Lady, please, I just drove 100 miles. Can't you please help me a little bit? So then this is what happened. So she pulls out this record, and it's a record that I probably sold for $5 at the time. Okay? It's called Tell Me. No, $5. No. It's worth less now. That's how popular this piece of shit was. It's called Tell Me Why You Like Roosevelt. Right? Tell Me Why You Like Roosevelt by Otis Jackson. And it just says Otis Jackson on the label, but there's a group behind it. Okay. Yeah. So I said to the lady, how many do you have? I want to make some points here. How many do you have? She goes, 25.
Quantity.
Said, yeah. I said, I'll take them all. Meanwhile, I sell for $5. I'm paying her $3. That don't fly. But I'm just, and it don't sell anyway. But I'm trying to get the woman to lease.
Right.
There's 20. That's $75, just like that. Lady,
serious.
Please, isn't it coming through? And she says, this is what she says to me. I said, I'll take them all. She says, no, you won't. You'll take one. One. What do you think? You're my only fucking customer? And I said, lady, hold on. Lady, tell me why you like Roosevelt. He ain't exactly fucking around anymore. Tell me why you like Roosevelt. Who the fuck is going to come in here for Roosevelt, you dumb fuck? I'm out of here. Stick it up your fucking ass. So that's how I left. But I couldn't, well, hold on. I couldn't stay away because I had to get back again. So here's what happened. I heard she has cancer. Well, listen to why I went back. Somebody, first of all, then she got cancer. She got cancer, and she's in the hospital. What do you know? Who's that? Me? Looks like me a little bit. Yeah, that's it. I like the new Mike much better. You know, I like that guy. You know why? Because he ain't got much to say. Now, listen. So, what? Where do you find these people? What's that, E.T.? So, hold on. So, listen, she got cancer. Yoda. Woman gets cancer. She's in a hospital. She's terminal. She's going to die. I hear her kids are running the place. Hey, that's worth a shot. So I get in the car and I go back to Harrisburg. And I walk in, and these are younger people, but one of them is either her son or her daughter. And so I'm in there, and I'm getting somewhere with her. I'm getting with these people a little bit. I got some stuff going, and then there's a phone call that comes in, right? And I had said I'm from Pittsburgh because she knew I was from Philadelphia. I wanted to be from Pittsburgh. I don't want anything to do with Philadelphia because somehow they could put, you know, I didn't do anything to deserve this, but this is what was going on.
Too many questions. Too many questions.
So I said I'm from Pittsburgh. Yeah. So what happened was, I just thought of another great story. This is much better than that. I mean, the other one's even better, but here, I'll finish this. So I'm doing the records. I'm getting somewhere. They're you know, and they're decent. They're nice to me. They're not bad. And so then the phone rings. And the phone rings, and they're talking. Whoever it is talking, and they're talking. They're just saying yes, no, yes. You got it.
The mom.
And you know what?
The mom.
They're looking at me, and it's like, is that a white guy doing it? And you know, probably most likely, yeah, it's him. So you know, and the next thing you know, you ready? Gets off the phone.
Mickey Rooney.
We can't sell you any records today. And that was it. Boom.
Okay.
That was it. So Anyway, that's the kind of shit. Yeah, he got it.
Up, man.
This is good. You got props with your show. Fabulous. So anyway, where else? Oh, I had a good guy here. Here,
Look
you
at
ready?
Wax.
No, should I tell this?
Yeah.
Nah, I better not. Never
No,
mind. Let's go on.
tell it. Come on.
No, it's nasty. I don't like to tell bad things. You know, well, I'll tell you. So so I
What's
had
your-
these two guys that used to come down to see me. This is now we're in the 70s, and they're both dead now. But at the time,
I thought we were all
no, we're
always in
everywhere.
the 70s.
But this is the 70s. This is when I had the store.
All right.
So these guys would come down on a Saturday, and they had great records, brand new mint copies of very nice records. So I'm giving them like they're $50 records. I'm giving them like $20 a piece or something. And I go, where are you getting this shit? Oh my God. He goes, we got, you know, they're saying we got this place we found. It's unbelievable. And, you know, we got more. We'll be back next Saturday with more. We you know, we're buying this stuff up. We're taking quantity. And I said, look, keep bringing it. Because this is back when I was selling records like crazy. And they were all like really good records, good solid shit. Now they're all $500 records. Then they were $50. So what happened? One guy was real sharp and the other guy wasn't too bright. Okay. So one day, the non-bright guy comes in by himself. I said, where's the other guy? He goes, he couldn't make it. So I said, all right, well, what do you got? And he starts bringing me out records. And I go like this. You ready? Go like this. This is almost, you're going to have me in the Rosen category after this one. I said, oh, I know where you're getting this shit. Why didn't I think of it before? He goes, you do? I said, yeah. He goes, where? You know, and I said, oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And the guy goes, and he's just looking at me. And I said, give me the hit. Well, hold on. Don't tell me. What's it begin with? And he tells me, you know, T. And I said, that's it, but I can't get it. It's not coming to me. What's the next letter? And I got the guy. Right? So I get the name. He goes, so it's Trexler. That's it. Hold on. I know where it is. Don't tell me. The guy tells me where it is.
Yeah.
So that Monday morning, I don't come to work. I go to Kutztown, to Trexler.
I've been
right?
to Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Really, it's a state college or some shit there. But they have this little town. This guy owned the whole little town, Trexler, Warren Trexler. Okay? And I didn't know any of this at the time. I go there, and this guy is an old guy, and he's like, you know, and the records are like, I think they were 60 cents a piece. He just wants to get rid of the shit, but that's what he paid for them, wholesale. So he goes, everything's 60 cents. So I go in there, and I said, I have these guys that told me about this place. Told me to come here and all. He goes, oh yeah, Jim and you know Bill, and that was their names. Oh yeah. Well, I'm very good friends with them. He goes.
Bob and
well, I
Fred.
guess you want to see are you picking up their stuff? I said, no, absolutely. So where are they? He brings them all out. These are their holds. And then I look and I went downstairs. He had shit all over the place, and I spent a lot of money, and I ended up getting everything. Okay, now this is so funny. The next Saturday. Here they come, because they were there every Saturday. And they come in empty-handed. I said, where the hell's the shit? He goes, some motherfucker from Pittsburgh. Because I made sure I told him Pittsburgh. That's where I'm from, Pittsburgh. You know, I wiped us out, took every
This is before cameras.
We lost everything.
Oh,
well,
man.
I got it all
You got
in.
it all.
For that, but anyway, that's all. You know, that's the kind of shit. There's a lot of bad stories too. There's
That's a great
stories.
story. That's like a wax
Funny
villain
guy.
kind of story.
Which one? That one? Yeah. In other words,
Yeah.
well, I liked it
love
because
that. I love that.
the guy, he goes, he tells me the whole place. You know, but I could never got away with that with the other guy.
I got a phone call from your buddy Lou Stanley.
I love him, by the way. I love him, but I don't think he's not well. Is he? Is he really?
He's all right.
Why doesn't he do shows anymore?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay.
You know what? It's
and I
just
know
too
he still
hard
fools with the records. I know. I love the guy.
But
Greg
he's
loved
good.
him.
He's good. He's healthy. Yeah.
Wife is
Yeah,
great.
he's great. Anyhow, he calls me up. This is like, I don't know.
Oh! I thought it was
20 years ago. He calls me up and he says, "Hey, Mike, I got this guy, he's like, Mike, I got this guy sending me this record from the UK, and it's missing. It's the Prophets on
Uh-oh.
on
Here we go.
Shrine.
No,
You
but I
know
know
this.
Shrine.
You know this
Who
story?
doesn't?
Well, you're gonna
Really?
know this story
Okay.
because you're involved in it. Yeah. So anyhow, he says, yeah, and I'm looking for it. And it's gone. So if you get a phone call, let me know. Because this is
Okay.
like 5 known
Yeah.
copies at the time or 7 known copies. Well, 2 weeks later, I get a call from Lou Stanley again. He says, "Hey, Mike, I got the record. You won't believe the story." I said, "Okay, well, what happened?" Well, it was a baggage handler at the airport who was stealing this shit. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I go, "Well, how'd you get him?" He goes, "Val
I
Shively."
like it.
And I'm like,
No.
"What?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, The guy came to your store and you
Okay.
called me. You said, "Hey, there's a guy here with a
Okay.
Prophets on Shrine." I said, "Hold
Okay.
it right there. That record's stolen." I go, "It belongs
Right.
to Val. I mean, it
Right.
belongs to
Okay.
Lou Stanley. Give him a call." So
Good.
you guys set him up. So the guy he had sold over $3 million worth of merchandise,
I guess.
right? Val, the guy came to the store to
Yeah.
sell the record to Val, right? But I told Val, hey, because Val wasn't gonna buy it.
No, no,
It was like the guy
no. I would
wanted
never
like
go near
$4,000.
that shit. At the time, no, I get you.
No, that's what he wanted. You know why he wanted
No.
that? You know why he wanted that amount? Is because that's what
Ah.
the package was
Okay.
insured for. So he put 2 and 2 together. Well, if it's insured for $4,000, so ended up you guys made some kind of deal to where I guess you called the post office or the postal police. You guys
No, I
ended
don't
up
know
getting
this
the guy.
story.
You don't remember
I
what
mean, I'm
happened?
not saying it's not true. I don't know this story at all. I get. I guess.
You forgot.
I guess.
It was a long time ago. Yeah, but you basically all you had to do was have Lou. Well, Lou ended up calling the postal police, and the guy, they gave. I guess you gave the
Okay.
phone number, or they gave whatever it was. The guy had been stealing from the people for like
Right.
not records, but everything. Like the
Right.
guy was fucking ripping off everyone, and it just goes to show that a
Yeah.
record that's really truly rare, and you
Well, there's
steal it,
only so
you're
many
gonna get
people that
fucking cracked.
are going to go for the record.
Yeah.
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 That will buy that record. Well,
Of
David Hall
course.
said it. My
I
old
love the
boss. You
guy.
remember
How is
Dave?
he
It was
doing,
the
by the way?
Scrolls.
We didn't bring him up tonight. Good.
I think he's all right. The last couple
All
of
right.
times I
Good.
talked to
Good.
Gordon, he said he was all right. He beat
All right. Good.
his illness. But at the end of the day, I get the call back. He says, "Yeah, man, the guy had stole like $4 or $5 million worth of shit over a 15 or 20-year period, and he had been racking them up. But that
Yeah.
That's
fucking Shrine
crazy.
record's what got him, man. It was your shop. He fucking went to your
I don't
shop.
remember it.
I can't believe you
There's a
don't
lot of
remember
shit I
that.
don't remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Lou Stanley did all the
Okay.
footwork. All you had to do is
That's
give him
good.
the guy's phone
No,
number.
I like Lou a lot. Lou's
But he
great.
came to your shop to
Lou's
sell
one
it.
of the good guys in this.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. So,
Before the next question, I just want to know: did you show all the 45s, or are there more there?
I got a whole bunch.
Let's see.
You want to see some more?
Yeah, yeah.
Something there. Let me find you
And
something interesting.
Sure.
hopefully another story will come up.
Oh, okay. Oh, here's a story that'll come with this. Okay, here. See this record? I got it. I got this up there at that record shop. Okay, this is a very, very rare record. There's only 5 known, maybe, and it's bizarre because you're going to say, how could there only be 5 known? Because it's on Josie. How could a record on Josie be? You see
I
that
never
record?
seen that label.
4 bars from Washington,
the 4
D.C. You
the
know
4
them.
the
Eddie
4
Day
bars.
and 4 bars. They did soul shit.
Yeah, but
You don't
I
have a
have
boot
a
of this.
boot of it.
It doesn't. This record's not
Yeah.
booted. Nope, positive.
Are you
This record has
sure?
never been booted. Okay. So I ended up.
Oh,
So what happened was there was
okay.
a guy in Boston who was on drugs and shit, and he needed money, and he was selling his collection, and he called me up, and I knew he had that record, and I had a beat up copy, but I wanted, and he had a mint one, so he told me I want $6,000 for it. So, you know, I paid $1,000 for. I paid $1,000 for my beat up one. So listen,
sounds pretty
I
good.
said, okay, how do we do this? and he goes, I want cash, and I want you to meet me at Stanford. Every time I go, I just went to Boston a week ago, and I see Stanford. Stanford reminds me of that guy. So here's what happens. I go, I got to get $6,000, and I'm going to go, and it's raining, and I had to meet the guy at like 12 or 1 o'clock in Stamford, Connecticut, at a train station, wherever the station is in Stamford. He's going to be there. He's from Boston. That's what he said. I'll get on the train. I'm getting off at Stamford. Don't be late. Okay. So I go to the store. I had money in the store and waiting for this thing. So I go to the store, and there's a guy standing in front of the store, and I'm early. And the guy says, I said, what are you doing? And the guy goes, I'm looking for Val. I said, what do you want him for? Got to ask first. So he says, I want to meet him. I came here. I came here from.
Hey,
Yeah,
you're
no,
such a mafia. You're such a mafia
kill this motherfucker. I said, he's in the back. Yo, Val. It's Chuck. I mean, somehow, yo, Val. It ain't me when they're looking for me like that. So that's why he's here. He's my double.
That's Chuck.
So anyway, so here's what happens. This guy, he's from Seattle, and he came all the way by bus to meet me. And I said, you want to meet Val? Okay, get in the car. I'm Val. And we're going to go to Stamford, Connecticut. We're going to talk. I got somebody to talk to, and we're going to go to Stanford today. You're going to get a day of education. So I'm getting there. I'll never forget this because it was raining and I'm running late and there's traffic all over the place. And I'm on the Pennsylvania Turnpike and it's pouring rain. And I'm doing the speed limit is probably 55 back then. It's an old story. I'm driving and it's pouring. I got the wipers going like this and it's pouring like crazy. And I got to get there. So I'm now doing 60, I'm doing 75 and I'm in the pouring rain. And now I'm on a curve. And all of a sudden I'm passing a tractor trailer and all the water from the tractor trailer comes pouring down on my windshield like a monsoon. Even the wipers couldn't handle it. I couldn't see anything. I'm doing 75 miles an hour. Wait, get that face away. You're telling the story. Listen, I'm holding the wheel. I can't hit the brakes because I don't know what I'm going to jackknife. I'll do some shit. That guy had to, he shit himself. But all I know is I'm holding, so did I, by the way. I'm holding the wheel like it's over. And I swear that's probably the closest I came. It felt like a minute, but it was probably 5 seconds that I did not know where I was going. I'm on a turn with no vision whatsoever, with all the pouring rain. And I'm like, and it's a miracle I wasn't killed. Swear to God, miracle. So I get up and get the record, and no. So I get to the place, and it's just a train stop, and there's on the other side of the tracks is something. There's not much there. There's like a little, place, no place to eat, but a place to go to the bathroom or whatever, and the ticket people. So it's pouring. I got there remember he said 1 or 12. I got there like an hour later. So I go up to the lady that's the only person that's there, and I say, is there a guy looking for, did a guy come here and he's looking for somebody? Because I'm the guy he's looking for. And he's, he has records. He's selling me records. She says, no, there's nobody here. I said, oh shit, I just drove all the way up here and he ain't here. So I go, I'll be right. I got to go to the bathroom. So, because I hadn't gone to the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom and all of a sudden I said, my name is Val or whatever. I told her, I'm looking for Ed. I'm in the bathroom and all of a sudden on the mic, on the speakers or whatever, I hear, okay, Ed's here, but where the hell are you? Maybe. So I come out and we hooked up and we went to my car and did the thing with the money and all. And then I brought him home. So the guy, I told him I had it already. Listen, and he goes, I want to see he goes, bring your copy. Because I got the only known copy. So I brought it with me. So I said, listen, I'm only upgrading it. I have it. And he goes, I want your copy as part of the deal. I said, I can't do that because now that's how I'm going to get some of my money back. So he goes, I'll give you 1,000. I said,
Yeah.
I paid 1,000 for this record. He goes, I'll give you 1,000 off. So it was 5,000 instead of 6. Okay. And my copy with a big gash on the back. You know, somebody did a knife job on it. So anyway, what happened was I come home and I get a phone call. Listen, you fucking asshole. I tried to sell the record. It's got a gash in it. I said, I told you that. He goes, well, it won't even play right. I said, who plays that side anyway? It doesn't matter. So anyway, but the truth is that he said, I'm sending it back to you. I want my $1,000. So he went, you know, I had to give him, and I bought it back. So I ended up giving it to somebody else. And everybody that I gave it to was having a hard time.
2,000.
You know, it was like a nightmare, the whole record. I wasn't supposed to have the record. It wasn't, you know, it was the whole thing. That was a real bad. So this record here's got more of a story to it, and it is a great record. By the way, you know why this record is rare? I'll tell you why. I think it's what. You ready? Hold on.
Must
What are
have got
you
thrown
saying?
away.
No.
I'm saying it must have got
Here's
thrown
why
away. I mean, why is a record on Josie rare?
This record is impossible because the record next to it, the next number after that, is Speedo by the Cadillacs. Okay, they ain't got time for that piece of shit. We got a hit record, so they fuck that. So, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know the Jets on G. You know that. It's like one
The next record
of
is
those. It
Why
wasn't
Do Fools
that,
Fall
but
in
you're
Love?
close. It's one of those things. Yeah, it's
Can't
something that they
Wait, You
worked.
Sweethearts or
And
something
I was
big.
told that. Well, no, the same people, Rama Records, G Records, Rama. That's They Say by the Rainbows, which is one of the greatest
Isn't that
records in
Richie
the world.
Mara?
Goldner.
Yeah, no, George
Goldner.
Goldner. Brilliant. You ready? His
It's Goldner.
famous, you know what they call him? He had the ears of a 13-year-old girl. In other words, he knew a hit record when he heard it. So it's funny. So I love that line. He has the ears of a 13-year-old girl. So there wasn't.
Well, I think
I
it was
know.
him and
You're right. They were
Morris
tied
Levy that used
together.
to run around
And
here.
Morris. Oh, did you ever hear
Yeah.
the story on the Redbird? You know, what happened was Lieber and Stoller, they were done. You know, they were used to. This is like an interesting story if you never heard it. So the guy, Linda Eastman, that's the one that was with Paul McCartney. Her dad was a very famous music lawyer in New York. So there was this one restaurant where all the record people hung in this one place. I can't tell you what it was, but they're all in there, and Lieber and Stoller were in there, and they were talking, and High Weiss. The only reason I know the story is because High Weiss told me, and he said that, you know, they were. What happened? Well, I knew the Atlantic part was this, that somebody told. I guess maybe it was him. That guy Eastman said somebody told Lieber and Stoller, "Did you ever order Atlantic? Did you ever order Atlantic? They probably owe you $100,000 that they haven't paid you." So he says, "No, we don't do that. We'll upset everybody." He says, "Hey, if you got the money coming to you, why don't you order? If they got nothing to hide, if they're being straight with you." So they ordered them. They said, we want an audit. And Jerry Wexler says, "Let me tell you something. You guys are real assholes. In other words, we're doing all this shit for you. You got hit records all over the place. We make you monster. We made you stars. And you got the balls to say you want to audit us? Come on. What are you, fucking crazy?" So they went ahead and did with it. And they found out that Atlantic owed them $18,000. Okay? $18,000. So here's what happened. This is in the 60s.
What year was that?
This is in the 60s. That was a lot. $100
18,000
grand
to
in
60
it.
to buy a fucking house.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
more.
here's what
Right?
happens. Wexler says, "Okay, here's the deal. We'll give you the 18,000, but we'll never do another thing with you. You're fucking done." Or you say, "Screw the 18, and we're back to doing business again." So they both looked at each other and they said, "That's easy. Screw the 18." Right? So
Yeah.
Wexler says,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
"I'm going to teach you a lesson. We're not doing anything with you anyway." And that was the end of them. No more Atlantic, no more Drifters, none of that shit that they were doing. Over. So they went to UA and had some stuff with Janie Americans. They had Tell 'Em by the Exciters. They had other things. They were talented. So anyway,
Yeah.
Now, what happened was this is a story that goes, this is going to be about 1960. This is about a 63 story. They're in this restaurant that everybody hangs in, and Lieber and Stoller are there, and here's George Goldner comes in. And George is cold. He's done. There's nothing happening anymore. So they said, why don't we do a label together? We'll get back into business. We'll make it a three. We'll do it, the three of us. We'll own our own label, and let's see what happens. So I always loved this. So High Weiss is the one that suggested it, and he went to the bathroom. And when he came out of the bathroom, and they made the deal without him, he didn't get a piece of it. And he said, that's how I know the story. He goes, are you kidding? You made a deal, and I brought you here. I put the, he's telling everybody, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be doing it. So they start this label, and I love this. So Goldner says, I already got the first release. And he says, #1 record in the country. Guarantee you. So they go, well, what do you want us for then? He goes, well, I want to make it a thing. You'll create, you write stuff and all, but I already got the first #1 record. So they said, well, let's hear it. So they go to an office or whatever, and they listen, and they say, we don't want no parts of this whole thing. That piece of shit, he goes, I thought you guys knew what you were doing. I thought you knew what a hit record was. That's not what we do. We don't do that bullshit. I don't do that. That's a fucking piece of shit. He says, you know what? And then one of the two, either Jerry Lieber or the other one, says, oh, let him put the fucking thing out. He goes, both of you are assholes. He goes, no, that's a #1 record. If I ever heard a #1 record, that's a #1 record. That's what Goldner keeps saying. And they're saying, you don't have a clue. You ready? Chapel of Love, the Dixie Cups on Redbird. Redbird was the label they came up with. So, bingo. So Goldner
probably close to #1, right?
So
Val,
that's the kind of shit I like.
do you have any Philadelphia Mafia stories you can share?
I know my Johnny Lamont shit. You know that?
Tell us.
You know who he is? That's the kid I grew up with, who had his father. My first job in records was at a place called Coast to Coast Hit Record Company at 55th and Baltimore in West Philadelphia. $1 an hour, and all you could steal. That's what I used to. Here's a story. So it was summertime. I only worked there for 6 months because I moved to Kentucky. So, but everything was a dime. Everything in the place was a dime. They had great records. Motown Dump. They got all the Motown records. That Frank Wilson or some shit, I guarantee it was in there. Because every fucking thing, they sent it all in there. We put it in packages. That was my job, making these packages for 10 for $1. You got it. Two hits on the end and shit in the middle. The shit is what everybody get killed for today, right? So, yeah, that's it.
All those Linda Grinders.
So here, back to so one day, I would eat lunch in my car every day, and that was good for 20 singles, 20 45s. Now that's only $2 if I bought them, but I'm working for $1 an hour. So I would go out and eat. But I always wore a sweater. It's 100 fucking degrees out, and I got my sweater because that's how I get the records. That's how I'm good with at work. And when I see these people come in my store, but I always say, hey, listen, I really appreciate you guys stopping. You coming in here, and I hit them in the back of their pants, right where their belt is, because that's where the fucking records are always. And I caught a couple guys.
Really?
Pulled a thing up. Give me my records, you piece of shit. Now get out of here. So I know where they steal because I stole. So I know the game. I wrote the fucking book. So, listen, all I know is I'm with the old man, the guy who owns the place, and we're going to the post office one day, and I love this. This is my kind of shit. Well, I'm sitting there. It's just the two of us and a whole huge carload, a station wagon full of packages. We're going to the post office, and he's telling me, the old man, he goes, we got a problem. I said, what do you mean? He goes, somebody's fucking robbing me. I said, you're kidding. And he goes, yep. Every day they're stealing. I know it. I said, you're kidding. He says, yep. I said, do you know how they're getting them out? He goes, yeah, I do. In their sweater. Now, I'm the only fucking guy wearing a sweater. Everybody's got T-shirts on. It's a fucking 100 degrees. I said, you know what? I'll keep an eye open. If I see anything, I'll let you know. So that's my world, right?
He
I
knew.
mean, I could go on and on and on with those kind of shit because I like that. That's funny. But, you know, I mean, once I went to that same guy, his son was my best friend. That's where the mafia shit comes in. But, and he was the straightest kid in the world. He had a glass of milk in one hand and a basketball in the other. That's his life, right? He didn't do drugs. He didn't do any of that shit. But then he got into all that crap. He went to jail for bootlegging records. He's the guy that drilled. He would bootleg Motown records and then drill them. Brilliant. You drill them, they can't go back to the company. That means not returnable. So here he's bootlegging and drilling them. Yeah. That's like, where the hell did you dream that one up? It's good. So it is genius. So
genius, yeah.
Anyway, where am I going with him? Oh, I know. So we had a birthday party for the old man one time, and I loved to get under his skin because he didn't like me one bit. But I always made a big fuss. You know what? You remind me of my father. Actually, you're better than my father. You know, I would always hug him and shit, and the guy wants to throw up on me. Can't stand me. But I love to do that to him. So we're at this party this day at his house, with the whole family there. I'm the only one that's really not family, but I was always involved with the son. I'm sitting there, and he used to buy records from them. They had a retail store. This is when I worked at that distributor. And I just, for fun, I just said, I sat down next to him, right? And he said, can't you find another place to sit? You know, in other words, they got a whole room here. Why do you have to sit next to me? You know, more or less. In other words, he doesn't say that, but he means it. He just says, can't you sit someplace else? I said, well, I want to talk to you. He says, what? And I reach in my pocket and I pull out, I did this as a joke, an invoice, right? An invoice. I said, you still owe us a few invoices from like 6 months ago. I want to go over it with you. He goes, you fucking prick. What the fuck is wrong with you? And he leaves. So meanwhile, it's just him and I in the room. And all of a sudden they come in with the birthday cake. Where is he? What happened to him? I said, he left. Well, what happened? What'd you say to him? I said, nothing. It was just the guy left his own party. I like that shit. That's me. That's me at my best. So anyway, the kid, Johnny, we call him the fifth Beatle because he was bootlegging Beatle albums. And, you know, he was like the fifth Beatle. So he would put them in stores. They would be all over the place. The first one he did was the VJ record. The VJ album, it's all over. They're all boots. It's him. He had them in Sam Goody. He's had them everywhere. Yeah. They were all selling them. So he was doing that. He was doing all kinds of stuff. And then I guess, I forget how it happened, but I know. It's it's too long. Anyway, he got in a lot of trouble. The FBI came to his place and said, we know you're bootlegging records. We know you're doing this. We know you're doing that. But it's all about Morris Levy. Do you know this story or not really? Okay, if you don't know it, I'll tell you. This is the part that's interesting. Johnny went to jail for bootlegging. He came out and he made friends in prison with these guys. And when he came out, they got out and he put them on their payroll. They didn't want to work because they was fucking robbing everybody and doing shit. But they needed to show that they actually had a job. Yeah. So, you know, Johnny hired all these thugs. And they wouldn't even show up. He just, you know, gave them checks. They give it back to him. You know, give him the money back and shit. So he thought because he met these people that he could do shit. I got people behind me. I can do what I want. So there was a big load of MCA records, okay, that was sold. And in other words, they just took overstock of shit that didn't sell, but they had to spice it up with good shit to sell it. So they put Elton John, Olivia Newton-John, you know, all that shit's in there with it. In other words, some of that stuff, which, you know, they shouldn't be doing that. You know, the acts don't get paid for this, and they were dumping them for $1 a piece, I think. And another friend of mine was in that business, and he creamed it. He got in before, you know. And by the way, Morris Levy ended up with it at Roulette. In other words, he had a place he had a thing I think called Candy Stripe, which he bought cutout albums and was selling them. He was a big guy with that, buying cutout stuff. So anyway, hold on. Now I lost myself. Hold on. Bring me back, guys. This is a test to see if you're listening to me.
Oh, we're listening.
Where the hell was it?
I'm on
Hold
the edge of my seat.
Yeah, I can imagine.
My tail
So
hurts.
here, hold on. So all I know, I got you. Maybe no, I don't have it yet. I'm almost there. What the hell happened? Oh yeah. So Morris Levy. So they offered the load
candy stripe.
to Johnny, to my friend Johnny. They offer it to him, and he's going to buy it. It's $1 million. Okay, and it's loaded with shit. My friend creamed it. This guy, Mike Adler, got in first, creamed it, took anything that was good, and called up Johnny and said, "Don't buy it. It's creamed. I creamed it. It's shit. It ain't worth anything." So, and Johnny says, "Who the fuck cares? I'll buy it anyway. I don't care. It doesn't matter. If I won't pay for it. I won't pay for it. If it's shit, fuck them. I ain't paying." So he takes the load. He gets the load. Okay, he ain't paying. He gets a phone call from Morris Levy. Now the feds have always wanted Morris Levy. He's done so much bad shit. He's been involved in murders and shakedowns and extortion and everything else his whole life. But they can never get the guy. But they have wiretap on him. Okay? He calls up Lamont. He calls up my friend Johnny Lamont, Morris Levy, and he goes, listen, you little piece of shit. You owe me $1 million. He goes, he goes, what's all, the load is shit. You know what? Come down and get it. I'm not shipping it. I don't want the fucking crap. He's talking to Morris Levy like he's nothing, like he's a piece of shit. And Morris Levy says to me, he goes to him, he says, listen, you little piece of, you cockroach, listen, I'm coming down there and I'm going to take over your fucking business. You hear me? I'm going to take over your business. And he goes, you can have the fucking thing. I ain't doing shit anyway. Come on down. You can have that too. He's making jokes about the shit. I mean, you're talking to a bad guy that should not be talking to this. So he ends up, and this is the craziest part. So, he just says, you better pay me, motherfucker. If I don't get the money, you're fucking dead. And he's saying all that shit, and it's all on, the FBI has it. It's wiretap. Next day, he gets, guess who comes to his place? The FBI. The FBI says, listen,
the Fed.
We're here. First of all, we know what you do. You went to jail, and now you're bootlegging again. He goes, I'm not bootlegging. He goes, you're making cassettes. We know what you're doing. You got MCA. You're taking cassettes, and you're redoing the labels. You're doing the inserts for them because they're drilled, and you're sending them back to MCA, their own shit. We know what you're doing. And and guess what? You're going right back to fucking jail. We're not even going to have a trial. You're going right back in. Because he did 1.5 years. So he says, what do you want? Then what do you want? And they said, we want you. Listen, we know Morris Levy called you. We have a wiretap. He said he's going to take over your business. That's extortion. That's what we want. We want you to testify against Morris Levy. And he says, put me back in jail. I ain't that fucking stupid. Put me back in jail.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what he said. Put me back. He goes, so here's what happened. They're going back and forth. And then they said to John, we have to have a meeting with you. Come up to North Jersey. And they met at a diner or someplace in the middle of the night. He goes up and he brings 3 of his goons with him. That's his protection. And he meets this guy, Tommy Vestola. You look at your Ren's records, you look at your Cleftones records, you'll see Vestola all over those records. He didn't write shit, but he's the mob. He's the boy. He's the guy that's gonna make sure you're gonna get paid. So Vestola meets Johnny and he says, listen, kid, we know the FBI. Everybody knows everybody. He knows the FBI's been to his place. They all know the same shit back and forth. It's like everybody knows everything. They said, if you say anything, you're dead. You understand? You're dead. You got a family? They're dead. He's saying all this shit. And he says, listen, you don't have to worry. I'm not going to say anything. And he meant it. And he said, well, just to make sure you know we're serious, the guy puts on like brass knuckles and whacks him in the face. And He almost loses an eye. His full face is smashed in. I should go up and get you a book and show it to you on the thing, because it's a famous story. What happened was they take him. The guys that were with him didn't do a fucking thing, and they bring him home. Right? They just get him in the car, and he's all fucked up. You don't know who he is. He's in shock, actually. He's whole face. And they took him to they bring him home, take him to his wife, and he ends up going to the hospital, and he's all bandaged up. And I saw him a week later, and he didn't even tell me what happened. He said, I said, what the fuck happened to you? And he goes, a 200-count box fell off a rack and hit me in the face. You know, he wasn't even telling anybody what happened, because he really didn't want to have a problem. So here's what happens next. It's a Friday afternoon. The FBI comes into his place on a Friday afternoon and says, okay, you got a problem. And they said, what now? What? I told you, I can't do it. I'm not going to testify against the fucking guy. He says, you have to. You want to know why you have to? And he plays a tape. The FBI guys plays a tape. And it's Morris Levy saying, go down and take that motherfucker out. Take his family out. Take them all out. I want that fucking kid dead. So he says, holy shit. So you know what? They left that day. He has a dog. He had two daughters, a wife, two daughters. They lived in a beautiful home. And they said, pack it up.
Packed it up.
The clothes on your back. They're coming probably tomorrow. You're you're flying out tonight. You're done. And that's what happened to him. Now there's a book out. There's a
It was like what
he went to and the idiot is out there selling, he's selling records. That's all he knows how to do. Now he changes his name to Creative Sounds, and now he's doing the shit from Sedona, Arizona, wherever the fuck he was. He's dead now too. Everybody's dead. But he testified against Morris Levy in Camden, New Jersey, with armed guards all over the place, armed guards everywhere. And they found Morris Levy guilty. Guilty. And they sentenced him and he was it was 60, the name of the book? I think Someone's it was 62 or 61 or 2 at the time. And they said,
someone's asked,
Stiffed.
What's the name of the book?
It's great. You can get it on Amazon. You get it used. It's fabulous. The whole book. They were going to make a movie on him. Stiffed. It's great. No, it's fabulous.
Probably will. Well, they will. They will. Way they will now.
Well, I just know it's a great book. I mean, it's you'll love it. It's fabulous. Yeah. So, anyway,
I'm just saying. Yeah. What about? Hey, listen to this. One quick thing before we shake away, since you're all mafiaed up. I remember being in your store, and you have to fucking explain this to me, because I've thought about it for almost 30 fucking years since I was in your store. It's like 96 when I first went there. We're in the store, and
shit. Will you stop with it? Don't use the F word in front of me. Go ahead.
The fire department comes in.
The F word. That's the F word.
Right? I know it is, right? Right. And they come into your shop, and you go and get a baseball bat.
You're crazy.
And you're like, get the fuck out of my store right now.
You must be dreaming. Now, you wouldn't do anything that stupid. I just had an incident last week. I had a guy in my store, and I was saying goodbye to him. We went outside, and we're just talking, and here comes a fire. I shouldn't even be talking this shit. Here comes a fire truck, and I don't like fire trucks, especially on my street. So the guy goes halfway down the block, and he parks. No lights on or nothing, just pulls. And there's 3 guys walking up to see me. They're walking up the street right toward me. And they said to me, we're looking for 49 Garrett Road. That's me. I said, I'm fucking dead. You go in there, I'm done. I'm done. So I said to the guy, no, not like this. I was shut down once. But you know what? It's worse now than ever. And so this guy says, we're your number. Here's what he says to me: 49 Garrett Record Shop. I said, that's me. He goes, you're number 1 on our list. So I go, I like being number 1. Nothing like being number 1. I'm in the record business. Number 1's a good thing. So and they're like, and then he goes, well, this is Steve. Steve's new. We just hired him. I wanted to show him around the town. So I go, Steve, good luck. I hope nice to meet you. I hope you have a great career. and I'm saying all this shit, and I'm shaking in my boots. I don't have boots on either. So I'm just scared shitless that the guy's going to say, well, let's go in. Let's go in. Now, if I wasn't out there, they would have come in. But they just let me go. I just kept walking up the street, and I'm there like, thank you.
Well, I mean, what can they really fucking do? What
Are you
can
serious?
they really do?
What can they do?
What can they
do? How about
yeah.
shut me down?
Yeah.
Find me. Get rid of the shit.
But why?
No.
What's the
No. I listen.
you know
But it's a shame you're not the fire marshal. So all I know is I got in trouble once before. A guy comes in and he goes, and he's smoking a cigar. He said, you're closed. I'm shutting you down. And he's smoking a fucking cigar in my store. And he's telling me that it's done. You're fucking toast and all this shit. And then, this is one of my stories where the guy's telling me, he gives me a list this long. It's all the fucking things that are wrong with this place. And so I go.
But that was
a girl. What probably was the girl went to. I didn't have baseball bat chasing.
No, when I was with you, it was 96.
I'm gonna go after the fire marshal with a fucking hammer.
Well, you're
nuts,
fellas, real quick.
Yeah.
We're 8 minutes away from 2 hours.
Really?
I am like, I'm terrified to lose the stories that we have on this. I would love to wrap this up in 4. Right. Val, I didn't know if we were gonna do like a part 3 or something like that, but we got to bring this back early next year.
I don't want that fuck on the show.
I mean, we're gonna have to make a deal about that.
That fuck up there.
I got no time for. Put that other face. That's the guy I like. Anyway, no, we'll do it again.
Hey, but really quick on the real though, tonight was incredible. We covered a couple questions, but you really brought it with these stories. My questions would have never been able.
I don't know. I like stories. I'm a storyteller. So
you're the best, man. You're the best.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you.
There's a person on here. There's a person here that's making a season.
We could.
Hey, Magic Johnson wrote. Magic Johnson. Who's that guy? Magic Johnson. Didn't he die? That's the Beckham basketball player, ain't it? Yeah. You got them all listening.
Yeah.
Look at this. Val needs his own podcast. Look at these people. This is fun. You got some people out there watching this.
You got some people out here watching. They're not here to see me. They're not here to see me.
You're there to see Val.
It's almost 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
It's close to bedtime for you.
Not really. Come on. Not really. That's your problem. Let's go. Let's do another 2 hours.
Hey, so what? Let me ask that last question. What's the end game for you now, Val? Like, I mean, are you thinking about maybe just? I know you're not gonna sell your collection, but maybe are you gonna sell like just what's left at the store? I know you got a lot of records there. I mean,
I just take one day at a time.
Are you
honest to God? I don't have nobody I know has an exit plan. Not one collector has an exit plan.
Yeah.
They don't.
We got to talk about the exit plan.
Everybody thinks they're going to live forever. Yeah, they think that.
No.
When do you? How long do you got?
My sister died at 30. Okay, my sister died at 39, so I know they don't live forever.
You know what? I'm seeing people die. I just went to a funeral this morning. Swear to God, funeral this morning. All I do is go to funeral. I don't sell records. I go to funeral.
2023, 52
Yeah, I know.
Was a long life. So hey, I made it this long. But 80 or 90 or whatever you is.
I'm blessed. To be honest with you, I've had a good time. I do something. If I could do anything in this world, I do what I do because I love it. But I'm going to tell you this: it's about people. The records are something else. The records, I love the records, but it's about. Hey, I know that guy. Anyway, it's about people. I love people, even the shit ones, even the bad ones. Look at that! Whoa, my man. All right. I'll stay on. I don't give a shit. That's me when I had hair. Man.
We're gonna do more of this later. I don't want to lose this goodness.
No, do it. Hey, look at Baldy.
Hair than I got.
You look like Dion. You ever see Dion without a hat?
Hey, did you ever see Greg?
I love y'all, but I'm about to end this live stream.
If you go through the pictures, go through the pictures.
No kidding.
Listen, go through the pictures and you'll see.
I'll send you the video. I'll send it to you in the
Mr. Clean or Mr. T or whatever his name was. What?
Mr. Clean, baby. Hey, no, wax on, wax
off.
We're out of here. Val, any last minute words? You got 30 seconds, real quick.
Let's do it again. I had a great time. Always do with you guys. I mean it. You're
Somebody
good.
wanted me to take
You
my
know
hat
what?
off real
Hold
quick.
on.
All right,
You
wait, wait.
are. Oh
I've
my
done this
God! You
twice
guys,
in 3
holy
years.
shit!
Here we
Look,
go.
look. Now, hey, now we're all the same. Listen,
You got more
you're
hair
doing.
than
You
us.
guys are the ones that keep it alive. You're the guy, and you know Max in town
Yeah.
in Philly. You're the guys that keep us going. I'm almost out of here.
Can't stop,
But
won't
you guys,
stop. Mm-mm.
no,
No
no, no.
days
I'm
off,
just
Val.
telling you. I'm proud of you guys. You're the real deal, both of you. I mean it. Love you. All right, you take
All
care.
right, we love
Mwah.
you,
Waxville in
Take
Val.
Seattle,
care.
We love
Washington.
you.
We're out of here.
Take care. Bye bye.